Hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Tonight we're going to be continuing Lostbelt 6, the Fey Roundtable Domain, Avalon the Fey. I'm Luce, your resident, legally distinct Fey creature, and gonna pretty much dive right in, I think. Locuster. This is gonna be a boss fight. An invitation? Of course I've already got one. What about it? Nice, I should have known you'd have everything covered, Oberon. Unfortunately, we weren't able to procure any formal dress, but since Oberon's so, dazzling, I think we should be able to get in as part of his entourage. Of course, Murray's something of a friend of mine. We'll have some of the best seats in the house. So no, getting in won't be the problem. The problem is what's going to happen once the auction starts. Bidding on MASH won't start until the very end, at which point I'll be able to offer up around 70 million more pounds. It's all counterfeit, of course, but it should be fine as long as no one works that out for tonight. Now, the real problem is whether or not it's going to be enough to outbid other prospective buyers with odd tastes. Usually 70 million would be more than enough, but given the product, things are likely going to be getting ugly. If things get bad enough, I could have to put up my whole Welsh forest as collateral. 70 million more pounds, that's enough to buy a mansion and a butler to take care of it. And you're worried it still might not be enough? Just what are they saying about this product anyway? Alright, I'll tell you, but try to contain your surprise. They're saying the fairy is supposedly a traveler from another world with an iron weapon, and the new child of prophecy. I recognize quite a few of those faces. Most likely reused assets, but I don't mind. It works for this particular scene. Good evening, ladies and gentle fairies. Welcome to the Glowcaster's auction house. Why put off until tomorrow what you can have today? Who cares about clan pride where you can boost your own brand? We know what you want, which is why we are once again proud to present the wide array of items sure to pique your interest. Have you taken a look at our catalog? Have you found any items that speak to you? Wonderful, wonderful. I can see you're all enthralled by our selection. Well, let's get right to it, shall we? We hope you enjoy this latest Lady Murray production. Starting. I see, so they say I have to bid yourself, huh? In most auctions, the buyer quietly holds up a sign, and then the agent bids for them. It looks like agents aren't allowed at this particular auction, so we have to shout our bids ourselves. Are you nervous about something, Oberon? Did you see the third item up for auction? It's one of Shakespeare's unpublished manuscripts. Maybe it's the flotsam that drafted here from Property Ministry? Oh man, now I'm really curious. Wait, they just casually found an unpublished Shakespeare play? That would probably be priceless. But of course, these Fae, being from another timeline and all, have no way of knowing just how valuable it truly is. Maybe I'll waste just a little money bidding on it. Oh no, what am I saying? I have to bid on it. Oh no, you don't. We're only here for one thing, the Child of Prophecy. Besides, if you bid on something now, they'll notice your cash is counterfeit by the time they get to her. Just do your best to resist. If you want an original work from a famous artist that badly, I'll make you something myself. That is true. An original Leonardo da Vinci, it would also be considered priceless nowadays. Whoa, really? I didn't want to be the one to bring it up because I thought it'd be a bit gauche, but now that you're saying it, it's okay. Okay, Da Vinci, I'm gonna hold you that. Just let me know when you need me to pose for my portrait. You're really enjoying this, aren't you? I suppose that just makes sense, you know, given who he is. I can see this place is nothing new for Oberon. I feel a lot better knowing that, honestly. Okay, I'm just gonna sit quietly until our auction comes up. Besides, I don't want to stand out too much anyways. And now it's time to introduce our last item of the day. I'm sure you've all heard the rumors. This is the treacherous rebel who posed a threat to our High Queen. The child our beloved Ansel promised would save Britain. This brave child attacked Camelot with an iron weapon no other I've seen before, crawled out of the great pit, even made a miraculous return to the nameless woods. Is the prophecy real? Is the child our savior? It's time for you to find out for yourselves. I give you the final lot number, the Child of Prophecy. You know, somehow this actually doesn't surprise me. I genuinely had no idea, but... Huh? What? Oh yeah, Muramasa is Gramps. Well, excuse the hell out of me for being old. Wait, how long? Hey, hang on, who was that? Say that to my face, why don't ya? Easy there, ladies and gentle fairies. Please, take it easy. This man's attitude may be as foul as his mouth, but his magical energy is truly impressive. What's more, he's a gifted craftsman, capable of forging wares that put all the blacksmiths of Norwich to shame. Since the Child of Prophecy was supposedly an apprentice to a superb artisan, even Lady Murgan agrees there's 30% chance this man is truly the Child of Prophecy. That's a 60% chance of failure, at the very least. Possibly 70 to 80. I really shouldn't have split it into just thirds. Although I guess that'd be 66. You get what I mean. That's a really shitty rate. Shut up. Muramasa of Prophecy, 30% chance. It's fun when they play with the dialogue box, although I guess I'm a bit in the way here. Shut up. How many times I gotta tell ya? I ain't the goddamn... I'm Child of Prophecy. I'm Senji Muramasa, lone servant. Now let me out of this cage. I don't really care. I got my level 100 Jason. I do not need another Arts. It's a looping saber. I don't know what's going on here, but that's definitely Senji Muramasa, the foreign god's disciple. What's he doing in Britain? And whether is he up for auction? You know that man? Does that mean he's not MASH? No, he's definitely not MASH. Things would be very, very different if he was. But he's also not a stranger I can abandon. Right, a servant. So he's a servant too, huh? Oh, I see, so that's why. Fairies here don't know what servants are, and they can't tell them apart from other fairies. So we have a servant who came from another world, an iron weapon who defied the queen. No wonder they thought he was the Child of Prophecy. But he's not. This is practically fraud. What do you do now? The bidding started. We save him, of course. Gotta leave it to me. Luckily, everyone else seems to be caught off guard, too. So 70 million should be more than enough. Let's start with 1 million, take it from there. Yeah, that's something I learned the hard way. I guess that requires some specific stuff. Basically, when I was a kid, my class had some mock auctions to explain how it worked and stuff like that. And so I quickly learned right away you want to start very low, because if you start with all your money, that just means anyone who has more will automatically bid higher, and you'll never make anything. Now, granted, I do know there's times it's worth it, because, you know, like when going all in on poker, you can psych people out even if you have a bad hand, or if you're just playing that confident, but yeah, it's usually not a good idea in the general sense. 3, 4, 4.5. Lady Saiba's party is now in the lead with a bit of 5. Do I hear 5.5? Why'd you use my name? Don't you think it's a bit more exciting? Child of Prophecy buying another? That's one for the history books. Oberon! 5 million. 10. I hear 10. Things are really heating up now. 11. Crap, forget. I see where this is going. I'm out. 20. What are you doing? You don't lay all your cards on the table in a bidding war. That might not have been a great move. 70. 100 million. I don't know what kind of rich clan you came from, but you have no business being here. Today, someone like you outbids me. Today, Britain falls, so obviously that's never happening. That's what you think. 101 million land. Are you nuts? My land won't even bring in 10 million. No longer make a call on this auction. What do you say? Which of these buyers has more purchasing power? Step down, auctioneer. Difficult decisions like this are mine to make. Whether genuine or not, the fact remains the Child of Prophecy is the main draw of tonight's auction. What's amusing to me is that that person was bidding what sounded like entirely out of spite. Whoever buys him will demonstrate not just wealth, but standing. This time I'd like to ask both remaining bidders to come to the stage. Well, that's how it is. I understand you understand how these things work. No one has more standing. Looks like the new money is headed for the executioner's block. Been called up on the stage. This is unheard of. This is how they do things in Gloucester, Oberon? No, I've never heard anything like this before either. Damn it, Murray, what are you up to? Saiba, I'm pretty sure this is some kind of trap, so it's best if you stay in your seat. If you go up on stage, you're gonna... Why is your chair empty? I'm afraid you're a bit late, Oberon. She already took the Master's hand ahead of the stage. Why'd you have to pick now of all times to develop an impulsive streak? Why did you bring me up here, too? I need you to fight besides me. Please, I want to do this alone. Let's start with you, Lady Spinel, or should I say Tamlin Tristan? Yeah, that works. I am the daughter of the High Queen Morgan, the artist of blood. I'm the fair, the most gorgeous dresses of all. I am Tamlin Tristan, the one who will one day own all of Britain. Well, your turn. Share your poetic name with all of us. It's a fairy meant earlier. What do I do? I can't believe she's a Tamlin and Morgan daughter. Why do these things happen to me? That's kind of on you, Saba. Pastor Saba. See, I knew you couldn't do it, but hey, of course you couldn't. What fairy could ever compare to me? You put up a good fight, but hey, you're that girl. Okay, I'll be nice to let you off. Allow me to introduce her instead. This fairy comes from the village of Tingel and will turn 16 next year. The miraculous child wills magecraft she taught herself, just like our queen did, and also managed to slip a dragonet laid by Woodwose himself. Please take good luck. That's the staff of selection she holds. Her name is Castoria, and she's the genuine child of prophecy. You do realize that basically means you're admitting you're selling fraud merchandise, right? Because it doesn't. Granted, I imagine her identity is gonna completely block that out. What's more, the attendee, besides her, a visitor from another world. He's a traveling star who will now guide the child of prophecy. That other light will save Britain. His name is the Master from proper human history. She knows about us. No violence, please. The bidding is not yet over. Now that you both are on stage, you have an obligation to complete your bids. But unfortunately, Tamlin Tristan and Child of Prophecy, you are equally matched. Neither of you has the edge in wealth or standing, so that cannot be the determining factor. You think she and I are equally matched? What are you, blind and stupid? I outclassed her in every conceivable way. It's not even a contest. What say you that, visitor from another world? Who would you say is worth more? I'm pretty sure we can't even joke here, because they're gonna take it dead serious. You're dead, you hear me? Dead. Tristan, you do realize you're gonna have to get in fucking line, right? Because there are 12 billion people who want my head before you. Very well then, how about Magecraft? Both of you practice it, which is considered very useless in Britain. It may be nay worthless, but fairies who use it are rare and valuable. And here we are, two of them. The High Queen's own daughter and Child of Prophecy. Since both these children are equally matched, perhaps we can sell this with Magecraft. After all, they both consider Magecraft to be something truly valuable. Surely a display of their power will show what they're truly capable of. So I'm gonna kill this shit stain with Magecraft. Works for me. I'll play along. I was planning ripping her apart sooner or later anyway. If you're the queen's daughter, you probably grew up in a fancy castle, never wanting for anything, huh? Then there's no way I'm losing to a pampered brat like you. So what if you're a Tamlin? We country girls are a lot tougher than you think. I'm glad she's standing her ground at least. She doesn't have to take this shit. Do no harm, but take no shit. That's how it goes when you eat fresh veggies every day for your life. This is a boss fight against a single person, I would assume, so... Oh. This is... let's bring a defensive one just to make sure she's safe. I don't remember what's in... I genuinely don't remember what kind of kit Fairy Knight Tristan has, so I don't remember if they have sure hit. If so, then the Mystic Code I was using is not going to help, but this one might. Lose no time and kill, like taking a bath. I could potentially delay a turn with this. Let's see how hard you hit me. Hmm. Oh yeah, recently I also heard that apparently the story, Castoria, actually has a unique NP animation, so I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that before we go. Magecraft tools sold out. Arts chain time.
それはいつか来る兆しの星、希望の地、楽園の後、誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星を
The sky does look a little different.
運命が誰のためアラウンドカリバーン
Yeah, mine had a blue sky, I think. Interesting.
ここでここまでダメだ
Keep up the arts chains. Here we are. Alright, we defeated the break bar. Excellent. Your story looks like. They have information that was thought to be secret. I wonder if the Moge from Grandia are here. No fair, that didn't count. I wasn't ready that time. This is my actual power. I'd have plenty of Magecraft if we just went back to the castle. Interesting, so this implies that Tristan's power is limited in how much often she can use it. I mean, sure, she was reduced to level 1 due to the Glowcaster curse, but... simply by holding out for a period of time, Castoria was able to pull out a win here. Although I guess they expected me to use the invulnerability on the first turn, rather than the second. Magecraft is built on hard work and steady effort. You could have used so many things here once you ran out of Magecraft thanks to the trinkets you hold on you. For example, this carpet would go up in flames at the drop of a hat, or those lamps could turn into bombs with little magical energy. But instead, you just threw up your hands as soon as you ran out of the tools you brought with you. Really? Now listen and listen good. You're at least 100 years too young to learn Magecraft. Why don't you start with parlor tricks? Yes, nailed it. You freaking bitch! That is enough. We have a winner. As Lady Ultra's Magecraft is superior, she will be the one to purchase the suspected child prophecy. This concludes tonight's auction. Thank you for coming, and please take care on your way home. That goes for you too, Lady Tristan. I suggest you hurry back home sooner than later. As I recall, you're supposed to be behaving yourself in Darlington tonight. I suspect even the High Queen would be cross once she heard you actually here in Gloucester. You're taking the Child of Prophecy's side? No, Lady Tristan. I'm helping the High Queen save face for making you a Tamlin. I can clean dirt off my auction hall floor easy enough, but the High Queen's dignity is not so easily restored. You see, some fairies are bound to take issue with your selfish antics and lose respect for the High Queen. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how fickle Fae folk can be, and I, for one, would rather not increase Noknarab's numbers. Fine, I'll go then. Next time, Miriam, you'll have to come see me in Camelot. As a fellow lover of art, I'd love for you to take a look at my collection. We do know she has quite a shoe collection, that's for certain. This does unfortunately mean we've had to play our hand of her being the true Child of Prophecy sooner rather than later, but I suppose some things can't be avoided. Oh man, it's finally over. That was nerve-wracking. I thought for sure we were all gonna die. But that girl can actually beat Lady Tristan. I can't believe it. She's no taller than me, about the same magical energy. She cares over so much dignity. Amazing. Phew, good thing this stuff worked out in the end, huh? My knees only just started knocking. Still, I couldn't sit back and do nothing. She may have been dozens of times stronger than me. But the way she was acting when she calls herself Tristan, I started seeing red. Yep, I never expected to run into the second Tamlin already. But hey, at least you won your Magecraft battle against her. That was great. Now the only problem now is... Oh, back to normal now. The cage is gone. How the hell did that work? Our newly freed compatriot, Miramasa. I didn't have time to tell you an Oberon this before, but while Muramasa here is also a spirit from the outside world, that doesn't necessarily mean he's on our side. He's a disciple of the foreign god, which means he's working against proper human history. So he's your enemy, but did you call him Gramps earlier? It's a bit of a long story, but that's because he's an actual one. Don't bother explaining, we've just had a few other run-ins, that's all. Ain't exactly mortal enemies with these people, but we ain't exactly friends either. We just keep running to each other for better or for worse, ain't that right, Master? If you want to fight me, I'll fight you, and if you don't, that's fine too. I'll brew you a cup of tea if you want, like they say. Even chance acquaintances are divine ordinances. Anyway, I gotta say, girlie, between all that staff and that outfit, that was a hell of a show. You really nailed that last line of yours, too. Gotta say, you British mages are a real breath of fresh air. Thank you. Master. What's with this guy? He looks young, but he acts old. Got a terrible aura, but I don't suspense hostility from hostility from it all. Okay, just hang on, Muramasa. That doesn't change the fact you're a threat to us. So from now on, I'll ask you this. How'd you end up in that cage? I could have kept this myself forever and died happy. But I suppose you got a right to know. I suppose this is a need-to-know basis situation. Alright, I'll keep it quick. After you people left Olympus, the foreign god gave me a new order. Infiltrate the British Lostbelt, take care of its king. She also said something about how this place was still growing when it's not supposed to anymore. Rasputin has his hands full with something else. We couldn't even get a hold of Limbo. Yeah, he's, kinda dead, and that's our fault. I will not apologize. Then again, they might actually thank me for that. None of them seem to like him. Among the villains, Limbo seemed to be the friend nobody likes, if you know what I mean. So I made my way here, broke the big castle, the center alone. Those Tamlin what's-this were so taken aback, I didn't have trouble making my way to the throne room. But just when I was about to take the queen's head, someone crazy strong flew at me out of nowhere. Next thing I knew, I'd been knocked clean out of the throne room. I tried to fight her off in the air, but she just swatted me down to a big hole outside the castle. She also punched a bunch of holes in my spirit core in the couple seconds it took before I fell in. Normal Sylvan problem wouldn't have died, about 12 times from all that. Fortunately, the foreign god did something unnatural to my body to keep me alive, so I woke up later, still kicking. Once I was able to move again, it took me 3 days to crawl out of the hole. Crap, I should make a Dark Knight reference. Oh yeah, you were hey. Crap. Dark Knight Bane quote. Alright. Oh, you think the darkness is your ally, but you merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it, molded in it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. But by then, it was nothing to me but blinding. I'm really no good at my Bane voice, but I had to do that. Again, will not apologize. You know what stream you're watching. It says cringe right there in the title, in the tags. I'd broken my sledgehammer during the fight. Yeah, so I stopped by a village with a blacksmith and spent another 3 days fixing it. On my way home, I got lost in some weird woods, wandered aimlessly for another 3 days before I finally collapsed. Then I spent another 3 days in captivity after some unsavory fairies found me unconscious near the road. After that, they sold me a strange city. I spent the last 5 days talking, showing off what I can do with the forge. So there you have it. Embarrassing as it is, still ain't done nothing of note here. Are you kidding? Just making it to Morgan's throne room is incredible. The 2,000 years era of the High Queen, no warriors ever made it all that way before. Plus, he also knows the path, so when we go in, if we can get him to tell us about it, we might be able to find a way there. Thing is, he's still the foreign god's minion, so I'm not too happy about working with him, but I suppose at the same time, right now we both have the same goal. Defeat Morgan Le Fay, and I suppose then we can face each other, because I have the feeling he's here for the same goal we are. That is, take the Rongo Bongo Lance. Oh, yeah. In your experienced smith, the catalog said you can make anything. Well, yeah. But you're still a bad servant. Oh, I guess we'll have to kill you here, then. It isn't a servant's actions to date that determine whether they are bad or good, Castoria. Servants are basically mercenaries. All that matters is who they currently have a contract with, what they're going to do next. Yeah. How the servant themselves feel about it depends from person to person. Sometimes they'd rather be treated as just a tool, like since they're all technically really powerful familiars. Others prefer a more personable relationship. Then again, I guess that's also something I like about the series. At the end of the day, it's primarily about the characters first and story second, and I think that does make it a lot easier to find in characters you are particularly attached to. Wouldn't be the first one, I suppose. Who are you, another servant? I'm Oberon, and yes, I'm a proper human history servant who was summoned to Britain a little before you all got here. Senjimura and Masa, was it? Sounds like you want to take out Queen Morgan as much as we do. How about we team up, just until we defeat her? Yesterday's enemy and today's friend, all that. Besides, don't think it'd be better for us to put all our wood behind one arrow, so to speak? Good point. I doubt I'll be getting any other help out there. Alright, sounds like a good suggestion to me. What do you think, Master? I know Senji Muramas is one of the foreign god's disciples, but he's also always been relatively, reasonable. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as the type to backstab me. I mean, even in Olympus, when he said he was going to fight us, he refused to do so until he actually finished his current job first, even though he very easily could have. But he could have interrupted the current job to kill us, I mean, but he didn't. This alter ego version of him might not be the same guy that helped us at Shimosa, but he's still the same person at heart. I don't think he's the kind of guy that go back on his word. I'd be thrilled to have his help, but what do you think, Castoria? You want this old young guy to come with us? I'd love that. Blacksmiths are never bad people, you know. Put our curious blacksmith fangirling aside for the moment. Are you sure you're okay with this, Muramasa? I mean, we're not exactly friends with the foreign god. You don't think she might consider this betrayal? You won't just suddenly explode or something? What? No, the hell do you take me for anyway? Sorry, this ain't a betrayal at all. I'm just a swordsmith who accepted a job from the foreign god. Loyalty ain't part of it. Hell, if I owe anyone a debt, it's that girl over there. You saved my bacon, so now I owe you. Child of prophecy? Yeah, I've heard of you. If you just want me to stick around until you defeat the queen, I'm game. Doesn't even conflict with my contract with the foreign god. Yay, Miramasa's joined the party! Oh, come on, Ritsuka. I've got a level 100 Jason right there who could definitely do the job. Actually, I'm not kidding. I've done the math. My level 100 Jason actually out-damages an NP1 Muramasa, even if he's also been grailed. That's kind of funny. But then again, he is very high investment, and that does add up. Fun fact, once Jason's interlude gets in here and his NP is stronger, he'll be even stronger than NP2 Muramasa. That's fun. Now granted, Muramasa's still better because he has tools for being a proper looping saber and Jason does not, but there's a reason I'm all Muramasa who. You're all done. Can I say something now? Thank you for bidding at the auction house. Now then, our proprietor would like to extend a congratulations on purchase while we take care of the financial side of things. So if you please come with me, I'll take you to Marian. She's expecting you at her mansion. Something tells me this isn't going to end well, although we did technically pay with the combat, so... we should theoretically be fine. Oh no! No! Not again. Okay, it's not that bad, but it felt like the most appropriate response to a blatant... Well, this explains why they refused to show her face. Nice to meet you, Castoria, and you from Proper Human History. That was such an exciting battle. Now I know what the next hot trend will be. I'll call it convenient necessities you can make yourself. Simple, fulfilling magecraft items for good luck. It's gonna be the most plain Jane trend in Glowcaster's history. Gotta have close-ups for the Sakura face fans. Oh, that did not go over too well. I figure there's no way a bunch of broke-ass, powerless, small-time fairies and humans wouldn't be feeling nervous after being summoned to the home of the most charismatic producer in all of Fairy Britain. So I thought I'd offset the tension, make sure you liked me by greeting you a little more cheerfully than I usually would. But I guess that just goes to show why you shouldn't be too quick to leave your comfort zone. And then again, you only get one chance to make your first impression. So you're Mirian. Yes, hello, I'm Murian. I don't need to keep going, right? Anyways, it's a pleasure. Phew, thank goodness you're back to your usual self, Murian. I was beginning to think you'd been body snatched. What the hell was that? Are you turning into a Moors or something? Don't be rude, Oberon. I'm the perfect fairy and always will be. That was just me going above and beyond. I've been so excited to meet to meet a human from proper human history who isn't Barrel Guts, you see. Barrel Guts is indeed the one of the cryptors who is generally considered the friend nobody likes, from what I could tell. They barely even liked giving any kind of backstory to him. My Fey eyes may not be what they used to, but I can still make out auras. You're the master, right? You're as darling as I thought you'd be. If it looked like all you outsiders were Beryl, I'd be killing you right now in a fit of rage. I'm relieved to see you have perfectly decent auras. Oh, it gives me a little hope, if just a little. Thanks, we're still trying to wrap our heads around the situation. So you know about proper human history, and you're welcoming us here anyway, is that right? Don't make me laugh, I'm not afraid of proper human history. Sorry, that's not quite right. It's not proper human history specifically that worries me. It's you Chaldeans, really. But I've been told you've been all sorts of other worlds. So first of all, I'm going to learn for myself exactly what it is you plan to do with Fairy Britain. I have a pretty good idea, thanks to what Miramas told me. Miramasa, you told her about us? Hey, I never dreamed we were gonna end up working together, so yeah, I told her what happened in Olympus when she interrogated me. But just a little. Interrogated? Is that how you saw that? Here I thought it was a lovely tea party. I mean, I might have had a teensy bit of trouble containing my excitement. After you told me all these fascinating things about the foreign god, the trees of emptiness, cryptors, and the alter egos, but even so. This just made me wonder, why does Morgan have a random pit of bottomless pit in front of her castle? I mean, yeah, it was a good place to dump Miramasa when he was attacking, but like, what purpose does it serve? Is it just to look nice? Just something that they can toss people into? So it could be, oh, you've thrown off the Empress's groove and then toss them out there. Then again, I guess Tristan basically did that during the meeting. Hey, call that teensy. Alright, so it's not true the Wind Clan are the most mild-mannered of all fairies, then. No, they are. Or at least, they used to be. But there aren't any mild-mannered winged fairies left anymore. Not after... Oberon? Oh, right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please go on, my fair Butterbur princess. It's okay, Oberon, you didn't interrupt me. Muramasa did. Master, I want to make sure of one thing. You do intend to leave this Lostbelt alone, yes? Your business here is only with Queen Morgan, since she was foolish enough to go after Olympus. And the Chaldea has no intention of attacking Britain itself. Can you look at me in the eyes and swear that? I wish I could, but I can't say that for sure, at least not right now. I see. Not the most eloquent defense, but a well-considered one. So you're still trying to figure out who your true enemy is and what you hope to acquire here. I understand, you haven't even met Queen Morgan yet. Of course you can't make a final decision right now. Yeah, it's perfectly fine to be completely honest at this stage, because... well, like you said, we haven't even met Morgan, so we don't know what's going on here exactly. Very well, then. Normally I'd capture you all and present you to the Queen, but instead I'm going to hold off making a decision in the same way you are. As long as Chaldea leaves Britain itself alone, I will not get in your way. So enjoy your sightseeing in Britain. As for you, have you memorized Ansel's final property? More or less. Let me see. I shall speak now of a future of the end of the Isle of Mystics that came to be known as Fairyland. Let the innocent return. Here stands the Queen's and noble castle. We require only a little more patience. 2,000 years, after 2,000 years, the dawn shall bring the king who will bring our salvation. She shall be the child who saves the world, who binds people together. A city of iron, a sea of soot. When calamity recedes, her pilgrimage begins. Ring, ring like raging thunder, like weeping flame. Let us hearken to the 6 bells ringing. I think that's how it went, right? Let's say, more or less. You left out some key bits, but you do have the gist of it overall. Oberon, everybody is sure this is the child prophecy. I mean, she hasn't even been able to weaponize her biggest selling point. Oh, I wouldn't say that. I think she's got a few important points down. As far as the 2 you're concerned, the only important passage is the last one, since you're the guardian of the bell tower right above us. Bell tower, you don't mean... I sure do. One of the 6 bells describing the prophecy is above us, right now. And I believe you found one in Salisbury too, didn't you? Wait, are you saying you didn't come here to ring Gloucester's bell? Well... We actually came to look for a girl named Mash. I don't suppose you know anything about her? Mash. Sorry, but no one in Gloucester has ever spoken that word before. Are you sure she's not in another city? Okay, I thought one of your usual crew was missing. What happened? You got separated and came looking for her? Well, yeah, exactly. Heard there was gonna be a fairy with an unusual iron weapon put up for auction. How were we supposed to know it was gonna be you? I guess I have to take some of the blame for that. I should have looked into this more closely. I could have at least found out if the fairy being sold as male or female if I just snuck into the auction hall. As if you could pull that off. My auctions are extremely well guarded, not even an ant or a single drop of blood can get in without detection. Good point. After all, it's been a few hundred years since you established a doctrine, or perhaps objective is a better word. That nobody's allowed to use violence, isn't it? But anyway, let's get back to the bell, Murian. How come you're being so cold, even though you believe she truly is the child of prophecy? Well, to be honest, I'm disappointed. Queen Morgan isn't maybe a great ruler, but she is excessively cruel. It's not just the annual existence tax. It's the way she treats humans and how she opposes every fairy who oppresses every fairy that isn't part of the clan. It's the way she fails to handle the calamities, the way she monopolizes the flotsam, the laws that keep our society a pale imitation of human civilization. In the last 100 years alone, she had all of Darlington moved, followed by building the National Slaughterhouse Theater. She's always been ruthless towards those who defy her, but she's gotten even worse ever since she appointed Tristan as her successor. There was a time when I thought she'd be the ruler who would finally rid Britain of the calamities, and now she's just a witch intent on turning Britain into her personal plaything. That's why we have been waiting for you, Lady Altria. But you just don't look the part. I can't see you being the queen like this. It'd be one thing if the other clans were on your side, but neither Earth nor Wind will be willing to make a move as things stand now. So you're not going to show us the bell, then, I take it? Not now, at any rate. I'm the Lord of Gloucester. I have a duty to keep it safe. If I were to lend you my support now, it would be seen as an act of revolt against the Queen. Not even my Fey domain would keep us safe if that were to happen. If she wanted to, Morgan could easily dispel it. So please come again after you've grown stronger. I don't care what form of power it takes. Connections, magecraft, funding. I'll take anything as long as it leads to a way of defeating the Queen. Remember, you're the Fey folk's star of hope. The chosen child of prophecy will save Britain from its long twilight. So we need to get stronger and come back, eh? That's right, so I hope you'll do your part to help her. Please do your part to help her. You're an old hand when it comes to beating up bad guys, right? Sounds like you've done it lots of times. Okay, Marion, I get that you're not our enemy now, and I'm grateful for that. But what I don't get is why you'd go to all this trouble to help us. Even given what you already knew about us from Muramasa, we're still outsiders who in some ways pose as much a threat to the Fairy Queen. Yet you already seem to have a deep trust for Caldeo, rather the Master, and that just doesn't hold up. Is there something else you're not telling us? Something I'm not telling you. Of course there is. In fact, this is a perfect time to introduce her. As you may have guessed, I have another foreign guest who has told me all about you Chaldeans. Come, Lady F. I think you said her true name was Koyanskaya. Tomovich Koyanskaya, princess. She has a new outfit every Lost Belt. Although I think Lost Belt 4 might be my favorite outfit of hers, although I do think her Lost Belt 1 outfit was also pretty cute, despite being, in heavy robes and stuff. But then heavy robes can still be fashionable. Good day, my dear Chaldeans. I'm so glad to see you all doing so well. Don't worry, once she arrives in Mount Chaldea, I'll be sure Foe can get his revenge. Don't worry, Foe is very good at holding grudges. Just ask Merlin. Yet another new outfit I see. Stop that, please calm down. No, I tell you I won't abide violence. Besides, she's an important guest of mine. A business partner, really. Well, that does sound like her, yes. She means Britain no harm, and she has no intention of interfering with Chaldea either. After all, under most circumstances, she wouldn't even be here now. The only reason she's still here is because I insisted she stay after she tried to leave. And why did you do that? Because she's an excellent bodyguard. It's a shame she's so money-grubbing, but her combat prowess more than makes up for it. I especially love that she can hold her own against the Moors. That way I don't have to bow and scrape to the Fang Clan or the Tamlin. I see, that's why she's able to keep her city truly independent. I see. I was told we lost contact with you after you took Beryl Good off to who knows where. So now you're picking through Britain for stuff to sell. What are you playing at here, Koinskaya? Did you get tired of waiting for the foreign god and Chaldea to off each other and decide to show your true colors now the foreign gods showed up? Oh, nothing like that. Oh, nothing like that. The foreign god and I are on equal standing, you know. Still not sure exactly what that god is, but I'm sure our contract clearly states that neither will interfere with the other until our goals are achieved. Suffice to say, I've never been in the same position or suffered the same perspective as you three. You, Lord Rasputin and Lord Limbo are all servants summoned by the foreign god, but I'm a servant manifested under her own power, so I'm free to do whatever I like. Yeah, beast-class servants basically are able to do whatever they damn well please. They're not bound by standard rules. I'm only staying here now because I found Lady Mash's proposal. Lady Murian's proposal appealing. I have no interest in this British Lostbelt. Or you Chaldeans, who are apparently determined to get yourself killed by sticking your noses where it doesn't belong. I mean, you've been expecting us to die in 6 Lost Belts now, and that hasn't yet happened. I'm starting to miss Odysseus. I mean, he took one look at us and said, holy shit, the player character is a huge threat. Nuke him, nuke him. Or whatever Queenie's up to. Or in Fairy Britain's humans, for that matter. I do hope I've made myself clear. So, what have you been doing here up till now, then? Why, stocking up on new merchandise, of course. I've been filling my metaphorical larders with all sorts of rare delicacies unique to the land of the Fae. You do... Actually, never mind. She probably knows damn well that it's extremely dangerous to eat stuff from the Fae realm, and she just straight up doesn't care. I suppose once you've sold that kind of food, it is not your problem how dangerous it is. To the other person. Every other Lost Belt's either been on its last legs, had meager offerings, or secluded, or something out of science fiction. Honestly, none of them had much to offer, but Britain. Britain is a whole other story. The creatures here are equal parts unique, adorable, and vicious. They're just the sorts of mobs I'm looking for, the kind I can use to strike fear in all of humanity. Please don't rile them up, Koenskaya. We're just coming to an agreement. We were just coming to agreement. I swear, why do you always paint yourself in the worst possible light when you have so much beauty to offer, inside and out? Interesting. I would never have guessed she actually had any kind of inner beauty, but... Well, I suppose I am the one... Well, who knows? I mean, Tomo no Mai, I think that's how you pronounce it. Eh. She is classified as neutral evil, so the asshole alignment, and yet she has a lot of positive traits to her. Although I suppose alignments are always kind of an iffy thing here. I mean, depending on one's point of view, even how we're dealing with the Lost Belts could be argued as any alignment thing. I mean, they could say it's a good thing since we have to protect our timeline. It could be evil since we're deleting the other timelines of the people within them, or it could be seen as neutral since, well, survival is just a basic instinct. It can't really hold anything for or against someone like that. Do your best. Expect to be working with the Chaldeans in the future, so please do your best to get along with them, okay? Oh, very well. If that's what the client wants, that's what the client shall get. So on that note, Master Da Vinci, I know we've had our differences in the past, but here in Britain, we're both on proper human history's side. So I propose we let bygones and focus on accomplishing our respective goals, or at least till you reunite with MASH. Doesn't that sound fair? I suppose we don't have a choice. You're not wrong. At the moment, we definitely don't have need any more problems than we already have. If you're willing to leave us alone, we shall do the same for you. If you ask me, we should cut her down now and be done with it, but I guess we couldn't get away with that in front of Murian anyway. I, don't know this lady, so... I'll go along with whatever you think is best. Come to think of it, I guess we should have realized that Koenskaya was kind of a neutral party on all things, because she has gone through a revolving door of working with us and against us this entire time. Not that I trust her mind, but she does at least have some qualities we can rely on, and that's definitely her sense of business. I mean, she could have just screwed us over in Lost Belt 3, but she still chose to work with us there, even though she genuinely... The only thing that she could possibly gain is, well, some level of integrity that... I don't know how much value that is to a servant, but I guess that... Well, I guess as much to any person, really. So yeah, I guess she does have at least integrity in her sense of business to want to follow through with promises, no matter what. So I guess, if nothing else, we can lean on that. Wise decision, everyone. Farewell, continue to enjoy my latest pleasure trip. While I, for one, hate your guts. It's Oberon, right? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Shut up, don't talk to me. Every word you speak feel like it's rotting my ears. Honestly, I think Oberon's probably saying what we're all thinking. It's just that, well, politics make for strange bedfellows, that's for sure. Murray, I'm saying this as your friend. That thing is an abomination. Your trust is completely wasted. I wash my hands of her now if I were you. Well, that couldn't have ended much worse than it did. Must have done something really heinous to them, Koi and Sky. Oh, absolutely. Between wiping out Lord Gordolf's team of mercenaries, occupying Chaldea's headquarters, and turning its personnel into ice cubes, I'd say they came by that hatred rather honestly. I don't know anything about that Oberon servant. Who is he? He doesn't seem to be from Fairy Britain. Oberon just showed up in the Welsh forest about 2 months ago. He's a heroic spirit from proper human history. Ah, I guess that does make him a servant. Anyways, he likes to call himself the Fairy King, and he usually spends his time performing shows in cities all around Britain. I got to know him before. When he first came to Gloucester. At first, I was thrilled to have found a fellow Wing Clan fairy, since he looked so much like one. But oh, I'm sorry. I don't have to tell you this, but it would be dishonest to not say anything. I know I may look like a Wing Clan fairy, but I'm a not. After all, your clanmates are already. But hey, never mind that. You're the Lord of Gloucester, right? And please, I need you to give me an unsecured loan. The fate of the whole world depends on it. Well, as you saw, he's a very bright and cheerful character. More of a jester king than a fairy king, really. He's also the one who told me ahead of time that he is the child of prophecy would be coming here. I see. Ah, so that's how she knew ahead of time. Hopefully he just has keen instincts. But either way, it's probably better to squash annoying bugs like him at the first opportunity. Yeah. Very interesting. She genuinely expected us to be pissed off at her, and to be honest, we are. In fact, I'm pretty confident that a big reason a lot of people are pulling for her is more because she's such a powerful support unit rather than her character. But then again, well, let's not pretend there aren't a large number of people with the please step on me desire, so that probably would have had at least some secures, but yeah. Even before, and she was one of the least, she was a, well, I guess at the end of the day, you want to be either really liked or really hated, and she definitely is in the love to hate category. Yeah, is what I'm getting at. But the fact she's making note of Oberon. Oh, I just remembered. Should have my hands full with those stories of the past you've been looking for soon. There aren't many fairies left who remember what things were like 2,000 years ago during the Fae era. But luckily, I managed to track down one of the Book of Camelot's banished librarians have been keeping secret for ages. It should get here soon. You know, I'm surprised you're so interested in history, especially when it's so completely different from human history. Yeah, this is the first Lostbelt we've run into that hasn't had humans the dominant species, and that's rather interesting. Is there something useful you're hoping to learn from our past? Oh yes, absolutely. My objective is to find demonic beasts who don't exist and put them to work for me. I have the ability to replicate furry creatures of any size and shape and incorporate their data into my body. Wait, does that mean you're a furry artist? Huh. Well, I'd sooner trust them than I would those bots on Twitter who ask for me to commission their stream assets. So, you know what? I'm going to be open-minded about this. Though unfortunately, I can only command up to 9 big ones at a time. I originally came to Britain to secure a 6th tail, but now I'm staying because I'm fascinated by the story of how Fairy Britain came to be. True, I believe she had 5 tails, so she wishes to gain 9. I'd wonder if Tamakat would be able to power up like that. Actually, she probably can, but, well, she absolutely does not like her past self or the history, so she'd probably refuse if you were to ask her. That says a lot, because Tamakat is very innocent and likes to be a people pleaser. So if she would turn down something like that, that really means it absolutely goes against her as a person. But now I'm saying because I'm fascinated by the story of how Fairy Britain came to be. I'm only sorry I've unwittingly caused you to dip into your funds, Lady Murian. Oh, don't worry about that. I used to be quite the avid researcher myself before I became the Lord of Gloucester. I used to spend hours holed up in the library against my father's wishes, absorbed in the legend of Ask. I was a total bookworm, at least till the Queen let those barbarians torch the whole place. Sheesh, it's like the burning of the Library of Alexandria all over again. I guess even alternate timelines can't escape shitty stuff like that. Then, are you going to revolt against the Queen once the Child of Prophecy's grown stronger? No way! Hope of all folk, Britain's savior. While I never had high hope for the Child of Prophecy to actually bring an end to Queen Morgan's reign, I won't deny I've occasionally entertained the possibility. But now I've found out she's nothing more than a pathetic common fairy. Magical energy is average. She's neither especially beautiful nor large. She doesn't even have her own Fey domain. There's no way a fairy like her could possibly save anyone. I should have known the only one I could really rely on is myself. It's a shame I ended up letting Muramasa go after all the time put into him. As long as I have you helping me, I don't need the so-called Child of Prophecy after all. No, I think I'll just use Chaldea and the Child of Prophecy. Ideally, I'm hoping to distinguished human mage actually manages to take down... Ideally, I'm hoping the discussing human mage actually manages to take down one of the Tam Lin. If only one of them falls, there'll be nothing holding down Knocknarab even any longer. Queen Morgan and the Child of Prophecy and the Master. No matter who's left standing, I have plenty of game pieces left to play. Alright, so basically she's going to just sit back and join whatever side wins in the end. I suppose I can't blame her for wanting to do that. But it does... Well, we can worry about it later. It does the very least mean, as long as we're winning, we'll be in good... We don't have to worry about her. Ah, damn it, Oban, why'd you have to ruin our precious chance to speak with the head of another clan? That was probably the coldest you need to leave now I've ever heard. I understand why you're upset. I admit it behaved kind of childishly, but I'm not going to apologize. I only said what needed saying. Honestly, I'm actually with Oberon on this. She's kind of a terrible person, but he could have handled it with a bit more tact. I loved it, Oberon. It takes real guts to say something in that fox woman's face. Well, maybe not guts so much as thick skin. Either way, it was impressive. No, I think it's guts, because it does mean we had to hope she wouldn't want to fight back or whatever. But I guess even she realizes it's not exactly unreasonable hatred. You'll have to tell me some tales of your escapades later. I bet I've got some real whoppers. Are you sure we should at least try to apologize? I don't know, but Murian seems like she was willing to help Chaldea, or at the very least the Master. Oh, don't worry about that. Murian never had any intention of helping us out. Really? Oh, right, now that she has Koenskaya. Yep, she's got a trump card she can use however she likes. So now she has no more need to team up with us or to carry water for the Child of Prophecy. I see, guess I'm pretty much useless here, too. There they are. Hey, you guys are with the Child of Prophecy, right? Where is she now? Is she gone? She already leave? Of course she did. She's not gonna stick around for here waiting for Wood Wars and soldiers to come after her. I was hoping to see her in person, not that I blame her. Is there something I can do for... That's okay, at least we can give you guys these gifts. It's not much, please take it. We always believed the Child of Prophecy would appear one day, so we're saving what we can for when that time comes. Sorry, it's small change and cheap stuff like old clothes and tree roots. There's everything we can do for her now. I think we'll at least be some use. So please, make sure she gets it, okay? Okay, I will. I think she'll be thrilled to receive this. Yeah, we think so too. You guys make sure to keep her safe, okay? Well, if nothing else, we're earning the hearts of people. And that could be potentially valuable in the future, I think. Wow, it's a small amount of gifts. And those metal arms of yours carry it all, Da Vinci? Of course, you have my word I'll get everything back to the carriage safe and sound. Oh, that was nice, huh? Sure, they might not have realized it was you. But that was living proof even the fairies of Gloucester are pinning their hopes on the Child of Prophecy. You're right. And with this many materials and magecraft goodies, I won't have to worry about keeping the Master fed. Well, while I wish we could have spent the night here to enjoy more of what Gloucester has to offer, the fact the lower class fairies know about the auctions and now means the Queen's army must know about us too. So I'm afraid we can't stay much longer. Guess that is true, but we haven't found any new leads on MASH. If Marion hadn't found anything about her, there aren't any leads to find, and since it seems no one in Salisbury Gloucester has, our hands are tied at the moment. Let's not forget, we're also wanted for that ranch incident, so we have to be careful not to be anywhere near the where the Queen's soldiers are likely to nab us. So I think we should stop looking for ourselves and head somewhere safe, at least for now. Sorry to ask, but would it be dangerous to go to the cities? Oh yes, it would. That goes for Salisbury too. It's simply too dangerous right now. So instead, what if we keep looking for MASH from different means? You guys can lay low, and in the meantime, I'll go around to different areas looking for information on her. Just because you guys can't look for her doesn't mean I can't, after all. Alright, give me 3 days, and I should be able to find out all the latest news in Britain. After that, we'll know where to go next. Thanks, Oberon, but in the meantime, where should we hide? Oh, don't worry about that. I've already thought of it. In fact, you could say the land here is why I thought to make the suggestion in the first place. Oh, so we'll be camping out, huh? Then we'll have to look for an out-of-the-way campsite. Don't worry, I'm great at pitching tents, and I can also put up different bounded fields we'll need to keep undesirables away. Really? That's great to hear, but we won't need any of that this time around. Huh? Oh, now I see. Sorry to steal your thunder, Castoria, but we really need to play it safe here, and I'm afraid you have to wait for another time. Alright, let's get going to my secret base. See that forest? Past the western hill? That's the Welsh Forest. It's a place long abandoned by fairies and humans alike, where old, dried-up things go to rest. And it's the personal domain of yours truly. Hmm. Ah, wonderful. Sheffield. There it is in the east, that's Sheffield, the biggest hub city in all north of Britain. Incredible citadel, is that a castle on the hill? That's right, it's the only place with ramparts like that apart from Camelot. Did you know there's something special about Fairy Britain's ramparts? They're also bounded fields. The fairies build them take a lot of time making sure they come out just right. Basically, nobody can get past these walls except by the gate. If the gate's open, you're free to pass. If it's closed, nobody is getting through. Those are the rules these kind of magic walls are built with. Plumbing and windows aside, as long as you can keep the gate protected, everything inside will be safe. They say Bogart's the one who had all this built, including the castle. Bogart, is that the Lord of Sheffield? There is. He's known as Bogart the Braggart and Bogart the Loveless. He didn't just lose the battle to decide who'd lead the Fang clan. He's also so unruly got kicked out of Norwich completely. So he was once in the lead for running. Oh, so he was once in the running to lead the Fang clan? He must be quite the fairy then. Braggart speaks for itself, but why is he also known as Loveless? Because he swore off marrying for love, and now only takes human women as wives. Every fairy he's married in the past has hated his guts. The only reason he lost his mana battle with Woodwoes and his money game with Spriggan is because his wives betrayed him. When they were done with him, he didn't have any place left to go. Ever since, he's only taken human women. Says at least the slaves will never betray him. That's why he's called Bogart the Loveless. If you ask me, though, I think he still wants love, he just doesn't trust it anymore. I see, it sounds like he's been through a lot. That just makes the fact he's still managed to build an amazing castle even more impressive. You'll have a thing for castles, honeys. Maybe you really are from the upper class world, then. Is anything coming back yet? It'd be great if you could at least tell us where you're from. No, I still can't remember anything from before you saved me. But I get the feeling I had something very important I need to accomplish. Well, of course you do, dear child of prophecy. You're the Tamlin who's going to keep us safe, the one who's going to save all of Britain. Hope you're right. I've seen many different sides of Britain on the way here. I know it's been less than 10 days since we started traveling together, but I've seen enough to know that it's a beautiful country. If this power possessed really is meant to keep the country safe, nothing would make me happier. Hey, Wag, Rob, we're gonna have to go to the checkpoint soon. This is our last chance to let her go. I say we call a go-between and get this over with. Alright, probably not a good idea to go into Sheffield right now. Then again, we've also come this far. Would it hurt to stick together a bit more? Eh? Are we gonna introduce her to Bogart? Then of course we gotta go to the castle. Fine, do what you want. We only started being merchants because we couldn't cut as thieves. This kind of merch is always gonna be too rich for our blood. And so the ferry's cart stopped in Sheffield. At this point, the master was still sleeping in Nameless Woods, and Da Vinci had become acquainted with Micah, the Hubborn Salisbury. Okay, so this is a flashback, more or less. And so the other child prophecy made her way to Sheffield, and none the wiser that they were in the midst of a rebellion against the High Queen. Oh god. That little girl's the child of prophecy? Dang. So we got a wolf, a lion. No, there's a lot of species covered here. Yes, Mr. Bogart, sir, we're sure of it. You got iron armor, iron shield, dangerous-looking iron pipe, and strong enough to smash boulders. Please don't ask us where she came from. That's our secret to keep, but we're positive a niece here is the child of prophecy who's gonna save Britain. Hoping you'll treat her well and praise her accordingly. Idiots, do you really think you could put one over on me? That girl's no fairy. She's a human. Your niece is human? You're joking, right? She got just as much magical energy as a fairy. Besides, no human could possibly be that strong. Not necessarily. It's very rare, but there are some humans who are also fearsome warriors. That girl there does smell like a fairy, but she also has the whiff of human about her. You must think I'm a fool if you really believed you could pawn such defective merchandise. Here in my city, liars know better than criminals, and your fraud is punishable by death. Guards, arrest these merchants, have them hanged. You can throw the girl in a prison cell. Yes, sir. Hey, save us a niece! Ah! I'm sorry, please stand down. Also, those who are not liars, I cannot remember anything right now, so I don't know if I am the child of prophecy or not. But if they believe I am, then that's what I'm going to be for them. So we're going to treat them like criminals, I insist you treat me like... He has one too. Niece. How's this girl so strong? Get the Fang Soldier, she's too much for us alone. Whatever you do, keep Lord Bogart safe. Hold it, no need for that. This girl means us no harm. It seems you weren't pulling a fast one after all. Very well, I shall hear you out. Go ahead and give the merchants their payment. What is your name, brave girl? They call me Anise. It's a lovely name. Do you generally make a habit of eating children? No, they forget about going by Anise. You there. Are there any guards that can still move? Yes, sir. Others still numb from the earlier attack, but I'm more or less recovered. Take this girl to Habitrot's tailoring workshop, then when she's ready, take her to the royal chambers. I've never seen a woman like this one. Well, I'd rather she... Poor meat on bones, that attack of hers was a sight to behold. Today's your lucky day, you'll be my partner tonight. Once you've cleansed yourself, you're to wait for my arrival, my 62nd bride. Why? You're taking her as a bride? Yeah, this is kind of messed up, but... Alright, we'll just have to make sure to raise the city to the ground and plant a new one, just like when I was playing Age of Wonders the other day. Should be pretty easy. And so she came to the fairy would serve as her final bastion, workshop of Habitrot, the ever-cheerful fairy, beloved by everyone in Sheffield. Yeah, probably. If it wasn't obvious before, all these names are either a type of fairy or a famous, or a figure from folklore. Now, the original Habitat, I believe, usually took the form of an elderly woman, but 50 bucks says she's either a young girl or a sexy lady. I will not accept any other outcomes because I know how this game works. Abika, please don't be mad. I know you already got a lot on your plate, but Lord Bogart has a new job for you. And you think pussy... and you think pussyfooting around will make me say yes? I already told you not to bring me any more work. Yeah, what'd I tell ya? I didn't come here to stitch together armor, spears, and bags. I came here so dresses, damn it. You have any idea who I am? I'm Lady Goddamn Habitat, the greatest dressmaker in all of Britain. Excuse me? Bogart said I'm supposed to get changed here? Oh, right. Happy Cat, did you finally lose it? You're always been kind of a mess, but... Alright, finally, a job worth doing at last. My waiting is paid off. Don't tell me. Bogart wants to make me to make this girl an outfit, right? I'll have it done in no time. I mean, just how cute she is. That's settled it. I'm gonna making her my bride. Bride? Does that mean I'm marrying her and Bogart? Oh, don't pay her any attention. This fairy's always been a little bit off. Ooh, does this mean, Mash will get a new costume? I don't mind. She does have a lot of really nice costumes. She just showed up not too long ago after we started looking for a fairy who could make bridal dresses. She's definitely good at her job, but she's also pretty weird, old-fashioned, and flappable. Still not sure she fully understands we're rebelling against Morgan here. Still, she is good at her job. She's always claiming she's friend all brides or something. That's me. I'm Habitat the Spinner, professional seamster. This fair is all about helping blushing brides for their big day. But never mind that. I'm all set to get started, so let's take your measurements. Hey, I wasn't talking to you. Get out of there. Give us some privacy. Until Bogart, you'll have to wait another day. He always thinks these things take less time than they actually do. Got it. Have some milk. Should I bring some by later? Of course, I deserve a reward for my hard work, and don't forget to heat it up. Hey there, young miss. It's okay, you do not have to be scared. This is all happening so fast, you must be totally bewildered, huh? Well, don't worry, I'm on your side. After all, I'm Habitat, friend to brides with bright futures ahead of them everywhere. No more stuffy iron, I'm gonna make you the best dress ever. Oh, thank you. I'm Anise. Oh, right. Well, I guess I'm not supposed to use that name anymore. Is Anise the name of someone special? Yeah, that's definitely not a good name for you. There used to be a scary fairy called Black Annis who went around abducting and eating children. You don't need a name like that. Let's see, pardon me. I knew it. I call you Mash. You go right with that? I just say goodbye to Anise, but Mash sounds fine too. Why'd you pick Mash? Because it's written on your shield, see? Right here on the inside in chalk. Oh, you're right, in such big letters. I don't know how I never noticed it before. It's irresponsible enough to write things on write your name on things, but forgot your own name? That's funny. And so she regained her true name, but only in the most superficial sense. It would take some time before she returned to being Mash in both name and soul. Alright, now that your measurements are done, it's time to get to work. Do you have any preferences to come to color and stuff? I know your armor's mostly black, but I bet you look in white. Well, black and white are neutral colors, so they can go well with anything. She became happily cutting away with her scissors. Unfortunately, this is so far go. Oh, I'm not sure if what we'll be able to do in time. Oh well. The best time of Habitat's life came to an end. There, all done. You can open your eyes now. Go on, Mash. Take a look in the mirror. Ooh, that is actually a really nice outfit. This is wonderful, Happy Cat. I love it. It's easy to move in, warm and very soft. Almost feels like I'm wrapped in stars. I can't believe I'm getting such a lovely outfit so soon after I get here. Must be the luckiest bride in the world. Morning, Mash. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that. And now our story begins in earnest. For the time being, the lady was no longer shield bearer, but a lady, envy of everyone. Thus began our days of splendor and delight, easy one of the few and peaceful times in all of Fairy Britain, at least for the short time it lasted before Sheffield Castle was razed to the ground. Oh, I'm glad we were able to raise it here. Now we just need to spend some Imperium, raise a new city, and make it not full of very creepy people. From the moment the first rays of morning light lit the sky, Sheffield's castle town was abuzz with excitement. Overnight, rumors of the Lord's new lady, the knight in iron armor, spread in a flash. They said it was more than a match for both the Black Dogs and the Moors, and that she was even stronger than Bogart himself. Well, more on that later. Hey, you hear about our new lady yet? They say she even sent Lord Bogart flying, and he withstood a blow from Gawain. Isn't that amazing? Oh, the merchants who brought her here said she's the child prophecy. That's true, we might actually be able to go back to Norwich. Oh yeah, I got a peek her in the castle. She's definitely a real child prophecy. You can tell she's no ordinary fairy. There's just something different about her. I thought my heart was gonna melt when she smiled at me. She might even be as much a beauty as Lancelot. Yeah, I'm not going to just skim over the fact that they refer to her as quote-unquote defective merchandise for being what they think is half human, half fairy. There are many reasons I suggested we raise the state of the ground, and if anything, if I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get to be the ones to do it. You hear that? And Winky? Old Town's talking about Mash. And Bogart played us a boatload of cash for we'll be set for winter this year. Too bad we can't see Mash anymore, though. I didn't think she was going to live in the castle. I thought we'd be together forever. Oh, don't be stupid. We just gotta be patient. Bogart's bound to get bored of her eventually, and when he does, we'll take her to Edinburgh. You just know Rob will pay even more for the Child of Prophecy. Come on, not you two, Rob. Well, I can understand, but you... She's just merchandise. Now that we've sold her, we're done. There's nothing tying us together anymore. I say we leave Sheffield before it's too late. The longer we stay, the harder it'll be to make our escape. Escape? Why do we gotta escape? We got money now. Aren't we gonna stay here spring? Yeah, Mash protect us. Nobody ever did that before. So we're gonna stay here until we return the favor. But if you want, you can go. You're not like us strays who drifted here. You're actually from the land of the Fae. You're way smarter than us. You'll be fine on your own no matter where you go. Giving me way too much credit. More clever. Or some bastard thinks they are, the less capable they are of changing what they believe. Just so we're clear, I do not believe you're actually the child of prophecy. The only reason I'm letting the townspeople believe that is because it suits me. Now let's be clear about one thing. You have no right to voice your opinion here. I'll need more power if I'm going to defeat Morgan. I also need the grace and dignity of a king. You are no more than an ornament to that end. All you need to do is stand by my side as my beautiful queen. Yeah, I'm going to be massively disappointed if we don't get to kick his ass. Yes, Lord Bogart, I will conduct myself with the dignity of a queen worthy of Sheffield. By the way, did you sleep well? I'm very sorry for how rudely I reacted. Oh, that didn't have a scratch on me. Don't worry your pretty little head over it. Avalon guards, I'm going to see how our soldiers' training's coming along in the barracks. Keep an eye on my lady. Make sure she doesn't escape or leave the castle at all, for that matter. Yes, Lord Bogart, leave it to us. Cruel as he was also an excellent lord. He spared no effort in gathering mercenaries, training soldiers, and reinforcing his rampart in preparation for the inevitable battle against High Queen Morgan's army. He made sure his army would be strong because he was sick and tired of losing, although he was internally driven by his fear of failure. At this time, Bogart was still regarded as a good ruler. I can't help but notice at this time is in there, and that usually means it's not going to last. Acting dignified. Puffing out chest and putting on airs. I still hope we can get this costume for MASH. I genuinely don't remember if she gets anything out of this chapter, but if we do, I'd love to have it. It looks very pretty. MASH? Yes, I'm the queen. Do you have a problem with that? I know, my lady. You're Lord Bogart's wife, right? Which means you're now one of the Lords of Sheffield, I suppose? Well, with that in mind, I have a favor to ask about for your citizens. We've been getting lots of eyewitness reports of Moors spotted. And according to the merchants you brought here, they have no effect on you. Fang clan does have more resistance to the Moors poison than other clans, but it hurts like hell. There's not too much to ask. We might ask you for your assistance. Oh, that's why you brought me this way. Then I'll be glad to handle this. Since I destroyed part of the castle's walls, it's only right to do my part to help. Damn it, how are you so damn cute? But that's not what's important right now. What do you think you're doing, Mash? What were you thinking, God? When did things get so bad in the land of the Fae we have to send our lady out to fight? I'm gonna tell Bogart about this, you know. But it's the duty of the Lord and his wife to protect their territory. Besides, she's already evil as far as Queen Morgan's concerned. You calling my bride evil? Have you seen how cute Mash is? She's the happiest bride in the world. She wouldn't catch a butterfly, pick a flower, or... What are you wearing? Why are you wearing your old armor? You didn't rip my dress, did you? Oh, not at all. Don't worry, I'm still wearing your dress underneath my armor. Ah, it's getting all wrinkled. I'll have to make a new one. But I can wait till after we've taken care of this. I'm not gonna make you fight this battle on your own. I'm gonna be there right beside you. Oh, you can't do that, Happy Cat. If the Moors touch you, all you need to do handles more is a little ingenuity. It's not my fault fairies these days can't think of for themselves. More importantly, my name is Habitrol. I don't care if the other fairies call me Happy Cat, but you're not allowed. Why only me? What's her NP? Bridal spin wheel, restore HP, gain Valard. Decrease star gather rate for yourself. Let's see here, begin battle, increase MP gain. Now let's see here, restore HP, debuff immune. Missing our third skill, unfortunately, but let's see here. Two arts, 2 quick deck. I can work with that. I've got a lot of experience with it. Oh! Mash has her original set instead of the, Well, I'm glad Lazongle finally realized her, her half offense, half defense, Mold Camelot set, Ortonax set isn't nearly as good as one would hope. Let's go with arts cards. Oh, that's right. These guys get a damage bonus against Fae, and Habitrot is one.
いいよ。いいとも。
Let's do it this way.
押し切ります。ターゲット。倒します。
Disastrous curse. Spinning luck. I guess it might be good to focus one down, so let's see what Habitrot can do.
そこ。これ使う？僕の花嫁。やべ。
Actually, that reminds me. How do you pronounce her name? Habitrot, Habtrot, or Habittrot? Habitrot. Alright, so yeah, Habitrot is correct. Now, what's her overcharge effect? Gain a large amount of sea stars and... Bridal spin wheel. Lord Camelot time. Luckily, Mash can remember her noble phantasm, even if she can't remember her name. Alright, let's see what Habitrot's NP looks like. This should be fun.
急げや急げ。明日が納期だ。ハッピーエンドをお届けするよ。せーの。ブライダルスピンファイー。多すぎても。了解。いい感じ。押し切ります。はい。ターゲット。そこ。
Wow, I missed all the crits. Typical. So we'll do that, and we'll go with an Arts Brave chain. Oh, nice, they have subtitles to the attack cards now. I can't believe I didn't notice that. I'm used to watching subtitled anime. I haven't done it recently, but it's enough that I can remember to pay attention to the bottom once. Oh. Oh, so it's all... It's only Habitrot's cards that get the subtitles? What? That's odd. I think I'd rather get the Brave Chain than... Attack... attack stat is 8k and her attack is 9k. Mash is a little stronger, but the key difference is Habitrot deals twice damage due to the enemy being a berserker, and Mash is neutral to everything, so...
了解。いい感じ。これ使う？
Avatron's being pretty good support. I'm impressed, honestly.
新名。よっこいしょ。会長。新名。にゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃー。私は最悪の席に。腕の見せど。
This is where I shine, heave ho. Yeah, the subtitle's only for Avatron. What the crap? It's kind of... Oh well, maybe they'll add more to the others later.
全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ。ロードキャメロット。
Might as well give another turn just to get to use all the NPs.
多すぎてもやべ。やべ。はい。いいよ。
There we go. Huff, huff. This is why I hate fighting. It's all that work for almost no reward. That was amazing, Avatron. I've never seen another fairy move like that. You think? Well, we artisans do need to be able to complete rush orders in a single day. Me, I could make a new bridal dress the time it takes the sun to set and rise again. That's what they call me, Happy Cat the Speedster. Can't believe I just saw you there. No wonder Lord Bogor holds you in such high regard. The Wing Clan make that spool of yours? Wait, besides Murray, the Wing Clan died out. Murray, as in Game Master Murrian? Huh, didn't know she was still alive. Maybe she passed the name on to her daughter. Well, whatever, now that we've taken care of the Moors, how are you going to show your appreciation? You gotta treat us to the kind of yummy lunch we deserve. I know we're not allowed to enjoy eating when... That would be a problem with the castle town. Of course, I want to introduce Lady Mash to everyone anyway. Are you sure that's a good idea? Lord Borgar did say I'm not supposed to stand out. That'll be fine, he won't be back until nighttime anyway. There's a big slog coming all this way, right? Only right we make the most of it. And with the fairies of Sheffield love human culture, so they're not prejudiced against humans at all. Trust me, they're gonna love you down at the pub. They'll be happy, you'll be happy, and I'll be happy. Exactly. Besides, Lord Borgar prohibits us from treating humans like slaves. He says it's only fair since we've all been banished. We really are equals here. Honestly, I don't know what we could do without our humans. In fact, the one human woman in particular I'd like to propose to myself. Oh, is that so? I guess Sheffield really is about freedom then. And here I thought he was just talking big about not doing big things like Morgan. Sorry, you said we're all banished? Oh, you mean you didn't know? Yeah, this place used to be a ghost town until around 100 years ago. It wasn't until Lord Borgar and the rest of us rebuilt Sheffield into what it is today. We used to all live in Norwich, at least until its Lord Spriggan had us all banished. We wandered around for a long time with nowhere to go until we came here, which is why we can't just abandon Norwich now. We might have been banished from it, but it's still our hometown. So if the Queen's not going to do anything about the calamity, we will. That's why Lord Bogart's revolting. He wants to save Norwich before it's too late. Kinda get that, yeah. Shortly before nightfall, the time of day known in your world as twilight. Alright, so the person writing this is not from proper human history. The girl stood atop the castle walls, looking out at the land of the Fae, at the Isle of Britain, beautiful and lonesome as it was stretched out under the endless twilight sky. What are you doing here? Have you forgotten the way back to the castle? Oh, hello, Bogart. The scenery here is so nice, isn't it? You refer to me as Lord Bogart, I will not tolerate disrespect. And yes, of course the view here is nice. It's so I can see enemy forces that attempt to invade my territory. I suspect you and I are using the term nice very differently. This was a battlefield. In fact, the bloodstains have only recently faded. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said that. Now I still don't know anything about this town. Does this... You say something? Never mind. Does the scenery truly seem nice to you? Even with all the desolate hills far as the eye can see in a world ruled by fairies rather than humans. Yes, it seems so wonderfully precious. Something very forlorn about the scenery, but something endearing as well. I can tell that everyone's suffering here. Rob, Wag, Winky. People I've met in other towns, people Sheffield. I don't know what it is that's causing their suffering, but I know that in spite of it, they'll consider this their home and they want to keep living here, even if it is hard. So many people still love Britain, I can't imagine it could be such an awful place. Oh, shallow, that's exactly why humans are difficult to deal with. Go by the castle before I distract the soldiers of the barracks. I want to be back till late tonight, so talk to Habitraw if you can't sleep. I will, thank you for your concern, Lord Bogart. Not nice of him. He truly is a wonderful lord, isn't he? Don't let him fool you, Mash. Good guys don't demand you call them lord. I think so. I thought it was just to keep his reputation intact. After all, he looked very unhappy when I called him lord before. Well, that's even worse. That lionhead actually think he's some devoted husband or something. You're only married on paper. He's got no right to go around tricking my bride like that. On paper, our marriage is fraud? Does this mean I'm actually a wicked woman who's deceiving the kind Ernest with my feminine charms? That I'm both the child prophecy and a femme fatale like no other? Maybe you are. No wonder you're too much for Bogart to handle, especially when he's hopeless against anyone who doesn't detest him. You're practically his natural enemy, and Bogart's predecessor must have gotten up to some real bad stuff for him to be in this predicament. What do you mean, he's hopeless against anyone who doesn't detest him? It's all about the fairy's most fundamental desires and unique traits. Humans emotionally change all the time. One moment they want to be loved, the next hated. Or they'll want to protect someone one moment and hurt them the next, but fairies' desires are much less mutable. In Bogart's case, he uses rational mind to keep his violent impulses in check, so he can't make full use of his abilities unless he's both hating and hated by someone. Basically, thanks to who you are, it's impossible for him to be aggressive. Thanks to who I am. I still don't know who I am. I still don't remember anything about my past. I didn't even know my true name until recently. Before I came here, before the three became calling me the child of prophecy, I had no idea what I should do or what I was even supposed to do. No, for that matter. Did I even have a self before I lost my memories? Why do you ask that? There's only one thing I've learned from losing my memories. There's something I'm missing from my heart, like there's a hole right through it. All the fairies I've met have a purpose, something they intrinsically seek. Some of them help others for money, some hurt for money. I don't have anything like that. Well, I guess if we need to fight Bogart, it's good to remember he can only obtain his true power when both him and his enemy are equally hatred of each other. In that case, I suppose I must stem my anger. Become Zen. Embrace the Jedi Zen mindset. Oh, but I don't have anything like that. Whenever I try to help someone, I always end up realizing the same thing. What is it that I want right now? What is it that drove me to help them? I don't know, it makes me feel very empty inside. I have a heart, so I know I can't get away with this forever. I don't think I was even aware of the emptiness before I lost my memories, but now I can't help but notice it. After all, I don't have any memories left to cover it up. Something was missing inside me. No, that's not right. There's a gap in me that's long been ready to receive something, but I refuse to try and fill it. So I find it very hard to believe that there's anything I can do. Habitraw blinked in astonishment at the girl's surprised confession. Losing her memories was not all bad, it made her aware of a serious problem. Well, hey, most people don't really know who they are or what it is they want. They say that kind of thing becomes clear on your deathbed, or for better or for worse, we're still alive. You need something to drive you, a goal you can be proud of. That'll also help you learn to love yourself. You said you have a hole through you, right? And that you're not trying to find out what you should do as a person, you're trying to figure out what you want to do. Maybe that's not the kind of thing you notice when you're already leaning on others, but this journey is going to be just for you, so you can find it yourself. Ah, I see. I see, that's interesting. So Mash is going to be going on a bit of a journey of self-discovery before we meet up. That'll certainly make things... Yes. That'll certainly make things a lot more interesting, especially since, well, some do think she's a bit of a bland character. They have done some nice stuff with her, but nothing wrong with devoting screen time to the, protagonist's main partner, after all. Don't listen to her too closely. She's going to bail before this is over. It'll be a long time before that girl finds an answer she's comfortable with. For the time being, the fairy's words were just meant as advice to cheer her up, in hopes that one day they'll form the core of the wheels you use to spin your own thread. Interesting, it says your own thread and not her own thread. Interesting. I need to hydrate real quick. Give me a moment to take a sip of my drink. I got a bottle of water, so we're definitely going to be... my throat's definitely going to last a little longer this time around. Hopefully. Oh, right, I almost forgot one very important bit. Would you mind if we rewind a little bit? Okay, Mr. Narrator, it almost sounds like he's telling the story in real time if he's needs to... if he's all, oh wait, I forgot something. Because usually if a story is in first person, they won't say I forgot and rewind. Alright, but... I've been waiting for you, my lord. You must be tired after a hard day's work. Is that your attempt at playing a model wife, impotent whelp? Don't think I don't see what you're doing here, clever lass. Playing along obediently will do nothing to change your fate. My only objective is the throne. Everything I do is in service of defeating the clans and killing Morgan. You are no exception, child of prophecy. I'm quite used to betting humans. I'm gonna deflower you. I'll not be gentle. If you wish to fight back, you're welcome to try. Something tells me... This is the room in Sheffield's guest house that was prepared for MASH. On the night child prophecy was clothed in bridal dress and told to await his revival. This is what happened during their first night as 62nd bride. I think she's got this matter well handled, don't you think? Whoa. What was that? Are we under attack? Oh, Lord Bogart? What happened? Oh, the wall by the throne's ruined. Everyone come quick. The enemy's trying to kill Lord Bogart. Hold it, I'm fine. Do not call the other guards. I just slipped, that's all. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Still, it's amazing you're alright after falling over 50 meters to get to call you the Stone Lion. I'm so very sorry. I'll be right down. Are you okay? Are you hurt? I was actually nervous. So even though you just lost your balance or being tired, you're only trying to grab my shoulder for support. You surprised me so much I shoved you with my hands. I never expected you flying. Trying very hard not let the sudden realization of what happened to show on his face. Guard, you're to tell no one else. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Of course, sir. I didn't say anything. Now, excuse me. I must go back to my duties. Child prophecy is amazing. Can't wait to tell everyone about this. Yeah, you know what they say. 3 people can only keep a secret if 2 are dead. Bogart, would you like me to rub your back? No, don't touch me ever again. What kind of wife knocks her husband out of a castle on the first night together? Yeah, guess I was worried over nothing. The rumors spread overnight. They spoke of an Iron Woman who could even throw Bogart from his own castle. Strong, kind, centric, a new Tamlin like no one has ever seen before. Man, she feels like a whole new town ever since Lady Mash got here. She gets rid of monsters, helps with anything we ask, and best of all, she keeps Lord Bogart from acting up. It's like he's back to his old self again. Not even the Queen's army can stop us now. Norwich is good as back in our hands. Toast Lady Mash, toast to Bogart. To our knight, the Knight of Sheffield. Cheers. Must be nice to be you wag. Sheesh, the Knight of Sheffield, huh? Mash the Child of Prophecy, remember, she's not just Sheffield's knight. Sure, those princess clothes look great on her, but there's something special about her. She's much more than that. If you ask me, she looked plenty elegant in the iron armor, too. What, you jealous of Bogart now, Rob? Don't you forget you were the one- Did you forget you were the one who brought her to him? Of course not, I just think it's the government in town's carry on about her. I mean, I know it's kind of the same for us, but still. Every morning I see her looking at the horizon from atop the ramparts and she looks so lonely. She used to smile all the time. She used to be really happy. Makes me wonder if we made a big mistake. Is that so? You don't think MASH is a child prophecy after all? She was just lucky at first, just another piece of merchandise. Then she started talking to us like we were equals. Before I knew it, I got attached to her. Me and Wag aren't from Fairy Britain. We drifted here from the outside. Basically floats some objects, humans, sometimes even fairies. They wash shore here. We're like changelings in a way. Never heard that term before, but I guess that's pretty typical of Morgan's reign. Ah, so they're fairies from proper human history. That's interesting. We're not part of any clan. We didn't spring up naturally. We don't belong anywhere. One day, Queen Morgan's soldiers caught us, branded us with command spells, and let us go. They knew we'd die when we got squeezed for our existence tax at the end of the year, so they didn't even bother killing us. That's why I threw myself into any kind of work I could, no matter how dirty. You know what Wag's like. He doesn't even know what's going on half the time. Like his big brother, so it's my duty to at least make sure he's got enough to eat. My only purpose every year was making sure we survived. At least that kept us from becoming Moors. Unfortunately, it also made me forget a bunch of things. Hesitation, uncertainty, compassion. Next thing I knew, I was thinking I was a full-blown bad guy that could do whatever I wanted. It would have been a lot easier if I stayed like that, but being around Mash made me realize I hadn't forgotten my values after all. The child of prophecy is supposed to save the fairies of Fairy Britain, right? It's got nothing to do with us, since we've never truly been part of this land. So, no, I'm sure she's not the real child of prophecy. The real child of prophecy would never have saved us. Anise might be a fake child of prophecy, but she's even better than the real one. So this means the reason you're still in Sheffield is... Hey, what do you know? Oh, dummy, get lost. What are you even doing flapping your gums? Don't you have some tailoring to do for the lady? I sure do. I'm Habitshot the Spinner, friend all brides. Don't worry, I'll make sure Mash stays safe. If you ever need help, I'll come to you first. Woo, we're not scared of the Moors or the Queen. We're gonna keep Mash safe together. You're right, Winky. We just parted ways sooner, this never would have... Fourth platoons returned from Edinburgh, Lord Bogart. They weren't able to meet with Knockdaral, but they were successful in their business negotiations. Actually, I'm pretty sure that term's from somewhere, so let's see if I can... See if I can search that and see if I properly how it's meant to be pronounced. Ah, I got the INA reversed. Hold on. Knockin area. We weren't able to meet with the Knockin area, but they were successful with their business negotiations. So they managed to procure iron weapons and give the weapons to the fairies, take the armor to the humans' barracks. Just having humans around will be more than enough to empower fairy soldiers. They don't need to take part in the fighting. All they have to do is stay alive. Yes, sir. I'll have them tailor-fit the army right away. Now, where's the Child of Prophecy? Downtown again? I thought I told her to stay by my throne. No wife of a lord should conduct herself so thoughtlessly. Who told her she could come and go as she pleases? Was it Habitral? She thinks she can do whatever she likes just because I value her tailoring skills. She's gravely mistaken. Tell her and the Child of Prophecy the next infraction will be their last. Well, thing is, sir, Lady Mash says she wanted to be of use to you best she could. If she wants to be of use to me, she should obey me. I am the law in Sheffield, and any refuse to abide by it shall be dealt with harshly, regardless of the reasons for doing so. Eee. Hey there, boss. I heard we got some new gear, so I stopped by to make sure it wasn't all just junk. What's got your fur ruffled, Lord Bogart? Oh, I see. You're nervous because Mash isn't here? I get it. She's super strong after all. The new army from Darlington that's supposedly headed this way. You probably want her by your side to keep her safe since you're revolting against the Queen and all, huh? Don't be ridiculous. I don't need any protection. That girl would only make more trouble for me if she was nearby. And then it shouldn't matter where Mash is, then, should it? I mean, all you care about is having the Child Prophecy here in Sheffield, right? Can't keep your mouth shut, can you? You're lucky there's no other fairy who could do your job, right? I've twisted your head clean off by now. Fine, I'll let the Child Prophecy go where she likes during the day. Be warned, Habitral, there will be consequences if you don't deliver on the promises you've been making. That iron cylinder was brought to me here, or with the girl, is similar to Morgan's spear, yes? We figured out how it works, it's something we can use. Still have no idea how it works, but I think I can at least get it to fire. I'm not sure how it's meant to be used, though. Touching it just makes me feel sick. However, the thing is, I don't think it's even supposed to exist. Ah, is it a cannon from proper human history? An outdated weapon by today's standards, and yet, for firing things made out of iron large distances, cold iron being a weakness of fey creatures, it could be quite useful. Can't imagine why Mash had something like that. Whatever it is, it really doesn't suit her at all. True, she's yet to even mention it. I suspect she's subconsciously avoiding it, running from it even. Yeah, that's pretty sharp, at least for you, Lord Bogart. It's nice to hear you voice an honest opinion I agree with, Thrawn. Never mind the Child of Prophecy. Can we use that thing as a weapon? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is a cannon and all. Do you know what a cannon is? No? It's a thing with a chamber you pack in magical ammo, you compress and burn what's inside until something comes out. The only thing is, it takes a ton of energy to use, even that, most fairies would probably wither and die if they tried. Should we plan on using a Bogar, you better ensure you're the only one. Don't make your subordinates do it. No normal fairy could fire that thing and hope to survive. So what you're saying is, only those who are truly strong can use it. That's perfect. It'll be an extra way to demonstrate I have what it takes to be king. Should've known I couldn't get anything through your thick skull. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying before. It looks like the Queen's army is finally about to make a move. Are you ready to face them? What will be your strategy, Great Lord of Sheffield? Thanks to my supporters in Camelot, I know exactly how strong the Queen's forces are. She's sending her 3rd Division, which consists of approximately 2,000 soldiers. She must have thought that would be enough to handle us. Ah. Hahaha, it's almost shocking how little she thinks of us. They'll never get past Sheffield's walls. Our ramparts are made from strip of the world's tree bark. They won't easily be destroyed. We have nothing to fear from the Queen's army without a Tamlin, and with Nokken area moving south, she can't afford to send more than 1 division. All we have to do is wait 7 days for them to wear themselves out against the ramparts. Once we've held the castle for 7 days, the Queen's 3rd Division will have vented strength, then my elite soldiers and I only release our pent-up anger and siege. Oh, so you do have a path to victory in mind. Guess I was worried for nothing, then. Then have you told Mash the place is going to turn to a battleground in a few days? What am I saying? Of course you have. She's as strong as a Tamlin, after all. No, I haven't, and I won't. How must I tell you this? Must I tell you there's no need for that? All the Child of Prophecy has to do is boost my soldiers' morale. Anything else will only get in my way. Make sure you keep your mouth shut. That girl's a decoration, nothing more. Good evening, Bogart. It is so nice of you to visit me again. Don't misunderstand. I'm only here to save face in front of my guards. Otherwise, no Fang Fairy worth his fur would ever come to the room of a woman he has no intention of betting. Still, now that I'm here, I'm not about to waste my precious time. Let's discuss the Child Prophecy tonight. How much do you know about them now that your memories are gone? Not much, I'm afraid. Only that they are a fairy. They turned 16 this year, and are destined to save Britain. Outrageous. I didn't think it was possible you'd see abominably ignorant. The Child of Prophecy's story begins 16 years ago. Ansel, the head of the Mirror clan who possessed the sacrament of prognostication, prophesied a savior of Britain had been born, and that one day the true king would defeat the false king for good. In response, Queen Morgan tried to have every fairy born that year round up and killed, but she wasn't completely successful. There are many villages who harbored anti-queen sentiments. Some of them sheltered newborn fairies, and hoped one of them would fulfill the prophecy. Of course, there were also some townsfolk who took fairies born that year and tried to pass them off as the Child of Prophecy. These days, some have even off 16-year-old fairies as a tribute to the queen, claiming they too are the Child of Prophecy. That alone makes the child very valuable. That's why every faction in Britain was so desperate to find them. For not one fairy has ever doubted that Ansel's prophecy would come true. Ah. So no one dismissed it as rumor, they just all... It's just an accepted fact, and then it has to be dealt with. Interesting. You see, they knew this had happened before. There had been other times in Britain's history where a savior has been born to rescue it. A figure meant to banish the great calamity that comes every 1,000 years, and one who channels the voice of paradise. At any rate, all but 2 of the records from the Fey era have been lost. One describes an incident that took place in the Fey era 4,000, over 6,000 years ago. There, a single fairy rescued Britain when constant inter-clan warfare had brought to the brink of collapse that cost their own life. The second is the War of the Summer Fey. War of Summer in the Fey era 2000, which war was waged against the northern fairies that came here from the Isle of Shadows. In that war, Queen Mab's army of human soldiers wielding iron weapons nearly succeeded in eradicating her ancestors. But then a single fairy stepped in to mediate between the two, which led to the creation of the 6 clans we have today. Interesting. And remember, Maria before mentioned that very few have any knowledge of information from the Fey era. So the fact Bogart has this means he is absolutely valuable information. The savior's name was Ask, meaning ash tree. After ending the clan war, she was buried in the remains of Orkney, the northernmost end of Britain. The ignorant low-class fairies may believe the Child of Prophecy is supposed to be the savior reborn, but not me. No matter how many times she may have saved Britain in the past, she's still lost. The calamity still exists, that alone proves she does not deserve to be called anyone's savior. Now, if any of the previous saviors had succeeded in ridding the world of those accursed Moors and the calamities that occur with more frequency, I would have accepted their claims. Ah, I see. So it's not that he doubts the children of prophecy actually exist, he just doesn't think they're all they're hyped up to be. Notice that everyone in the town seems to be afraid of the word calamity. No, not just them. Every fairy and every town I visit on the way here is afraid of it. My understanding is that as terrifying as Queen Morgan may be, they still obey her because she at least kept them safe from calamities. That's right. Morgan has declared her intention to leave Norwich to its fate. That was her second grave error after appointing Tristan a Tam Lin. I may never get such an opportunity again. Ah, so she was starting. So her first. Alright, given how terrible of a person Tristan is, I guess I can see why people would start questioning her after appointing someone like that as her successor. Her and one of the Tamlin Knights, the Fairy Knights. But saying that she's going to leave the calamities to happen is definitely pushing in further. You're happy about this, Lord Borgart? Can't rally soldiers without a cause for them to believe in. They need something greater than themselves. This Norwich situation is an unprecedented opportunity, Mash. It's the chance I've been waiting for to seize the throne. I have no intention of actually saving Norwich, but I will still use the situation. My call to action couldn't be simpler. I've demanded the Queen rid Norwich of the calamity and aid in the restoration of the city. If those demands are not met, Sheffield will no longer recognize Camelot's rule, and the Queen will either need to comply or send out her army to suppress us. Frankly, I don't care which option she chooses. Either way, we'll deplete her army. That will give me time to collude with the Northern Fairies, invite the Round Table army to join our cause, and eventually create an army to rival the Queen's. You're no more than grease for those wheels, Child of Prophecy. I neither need nor expect you to actually save Britain. Until and unless you recover your memories, you're not to make a move without my permission. All I want is for you to continue giving the people of this town hope. You're no good for anything else. Well, he's at least honest, I'll give him that. That's the whole situation in Sheffield. Olgar has 3,000 soldiers, 2,000 is fairy militia, and 300 humans. He's also gathering more forces, so you'll probably want to move soon. So it would seem. Damn it, the Queen only authorized Sheffield to assemble soldiers as a deterrent against the Northern Fairies. Now you're telling me there are 5,000 armed rebels in one place? That makes us the largest rebellion we've ever seen. I'd say it's owed to Lady Tristan crossing a line with her antics. Ever since New Darlington was built, countless fairies have been slaughtered for pure amusement. Now fairies from all across Britain are harboring doubts about Lady Tristan and High Queen Morgan for making her Tamlin in the first place. You don't have to tell me, I'm painfully aware of that. I know the only reason they're doing that is to let the player know. But we still sworn loyalty to the High Queen, we can't party to any of that nonsense. Alright, sorry, I just kinda slipped out. What's about my payment? Very well, pay him. He may have lost his standing, but Bolgar's still a powerful leader from the Fang clan. He can still easily defeat 1,000 fairies on his own. Send word to Camelot to have Lady Gawain dispatched here on the double. Over the Child of Prophecy, I'm pretty sure intel that valuable is worth something. Ah, that's a good one. They just captured another Child of Prophecy yesterday. This new one's not even worth looking into. I'm sure Bogart made her up. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss it, officer. That fairy was telling the truth. I especially enjoyed the description. How it again? Black iron armor, huge shield, and a black iron cylinder to make you uneasy to look at. Oh, but you definitely got my attention now, brother. Please tell me more. What's this girl's name? You do know her name, right? Honestly, I found it strange to avoid mentioning just that part, even though you're here to tell us intel. I mean, don't you think it's suspicious? Almost seems like you're not telling us on purpose. That's how it sounded to you, sorry, but you're wrong. I didn't say it because I don't know it. Now, if you're not going to pay me anymore, I'll just be on my way. I want to get back south by tomorrow. Hey now, why the rush? You came all this way after all. Come, chat a spell with us. I'm trying to think of a witty thing that said I wouldn't do anything with this guy. Don't worry, Winky. I'm sure it'll all come back to you soon enough. It's written all over your face. A way he could have potentially gotten out of that was saying that it's also valuable information that he's only being given on paying paid. Granted, I don't think it's a matter of him wanting to be paid. He just straight up doesn't want to betray MASH. Unfortunately, I don't expect Beryl... I expect Beryl to be even worse than the fairies when it comes to... poor treatment, we'll say. How long until we get to Wales? We're taking the scenic route instead of the main road, as to not stand out. So at this pace, I'd say we get there tonight, as long as we don't run into any trouble. Something wrong, Castoria? You've been awfully quiet for a while now. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to make the master nervous, but I've got a really bad feeling like someone's been watching us this entire time. I also get the feeling the carriage is going to flip over in about 5 seconds. Don't be silly, I'm Ridgerbit, the most elegant, wind-like fey horse around. I would never let a carriage tip over, especially with passengers in. What the snort? What is it? Are we under attack? Everyone get out of the carriage. Hang on, we ain't under attack. Carriage ran over or something, that's all. What happened, road horse? The road's bad out here? No, it's just I'm sorry. I was just writing a poem while gazing at the sky. And I didn't notice a large number of fairies collapsed in the ground until it was too late. It's incredible. It's awful. There are 1, 2, 6 blocking our way. We're alive. We're still alive. Please help us. Our cargo began acting up and attacked us out of nowhere. Hi-ho. We're not hurt too badly. In fact, we probably look fine. But the cargo took one of us away, past the hill, an isolated cave no one would ever see unless they were looking for it. Please, you gotta save him. You nice suckers. I mean, people wouldn't turn your backs on fairy need, right? Oh yeah, not suspicious at all. Hill over there? Got it. Come, everyone, we need to hurry or it's too late. Seriously. Wait, seriously? There's a fine line between nice and being gullible. You know, I'm actually kind of impressed you managed to survive this long. Keep an eye on those fairies, Oberon. No problem. Good luck over there. What are these? Actually, that's an assassin. Could potentially do this. Well, like, actually, I guess since Miramas's NP is up, I can just use him. I guess I could just bring some people here for bond purposes. I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing our back line, so let's go. They're definitely going to advertise try to advertise how well Muramasa can loop with this comp, I imagine. Don't you think your life is precious? NFF cat, NFF lizard. Interesting. Right, these skills are level 8 for some stupid reason. Actually, I should probably save this for Da Vinci. Alright, what's the overcharge effect again? Increase heart card effectiveness. And what's your overcharge? Heart card effectiveness. Alright, here we go.
駆け抜けるは前人未到。未完の馬よ、輝ける轍を残せ。人生がとても楽しいビューティフルジャーニー。
Lancer? Oh, he's an alter ego. I keep thinking he's a saber because, you know, the summonal version is. Well, that's what I get for not paying attention. Alright, not a problem. We'll just have Da Vinci use a... Really, Da Vinci? You couldn't do it? Whatever, let's do it this way. These guys have no empathy. Alright, we'll start with around Caliber and to buff everyone.
それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドそう、君たちはあらゆる困難を乗り越える。その少佐を今示そう。ビューティフルジャーニー。さあ、行けるところまで行ってみよう。
そこに至るはあまたの研鑽。気づきに気づいた刀塚。誰がき作るは戦士の刃。知った成仏していきな。
This should finish it. I do like how many Da Vinci's NPs... How many Da Vinci's NP uses the Lostbelt theme, like how Mashes uses the first story arc's main theme. Hi-ho, I don't know what I've done if you guys hadn't come along. That's the last time I go shopping in Glocust, or I should have known that bargain set was too good to be true. You mean he actually was in trouble? I guess so. Now I feel bad for not giving those fairies a fair shake, no matter how suspect they seemed at first. Hey, right? There aren't any of the fairies taken away, were there? Nope, it was just the 7 of us. No Heath fair around here. Well, I gotta say, you guys sure are strong, and by that I mean the redhead. You on the other end, you were crazy out there with the whole different sense of the world, lady. You were throwing out some explosion and thought you were gonna blow me up along with our escort. Next time I'll take a page in the young Mrs. Playbook. She threw a bunch of stuff at the cargo too, but she never hit me once. Going wild's all well and good, but you gotta be aware of your surroundings too, especially when there's a hostage involved. Anyways, anyone else would be sticking a lawyer on you about now, right? You know, this carries the distinct implication there are indeed fairy lawyers. I guess Fairly Odd Parents was correct all along. There indeed are fairy lawyers. I best overcome my clumsiness. Hope you be patient while I work. You bet I'm rooting for you. At least you got guts, and that counts for a lot. So if you're feeling alright, would you mind if we got going? Oh, it's not okay. No need to thank us. It seems it would be way more trouble than it was worth. Sure. Now that I made you help out, I thought it'd be easy by sticking you guys the rest of the way, but alright. We gotta head home and report to the boss we're done taking out the trash. Oh, yeah, I thought we could rely on those escorts we bought. Thank goodness you guys came along. Thanks, gullible-looking lady. You're taking out the trash? You mean to Camelot's pit? I thought soldiers were supposed to be the escorts for that, since Moors show up near the pit. We would've gone with the soldiers, they say they don't have time for escorts these days. That's why I got escorts from beautiful lady in Glocust. instead. She said we could have them cheap since she couldn't get the fine tuning right. What's this about trash? You know him, kid? Guess I must have just gotten out of the ranch recently, huh? Luckily, no more showed up near the pit. Guess they're all gathered around Norwich now. And sometimes what's gonna happen, really what's gonna happen about Fairy Britain. Between Gawain, the Fang Clan's biggest troublemaker, and Tristan, the Queen's pet psycho, the only decent Tamlin out of the bunch is Lady Lancelot. Maybe I should make a break for the north. No, what am I saying? I could never do that. We're the 7 merry brothers, Lady Aurora's faithful servants. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's back to work we go. Thanks again for everything, guys, and watch out for Moors too, yeah. I guess with no Snow White, they're just the 7 dwarves. I see. For the record, it's not my fault we didn't get there today. It's all on Castoria for dragging us into yet another rescue. Do understand that, right? Also, do you naturally attract Trouble Master, or are you just unlucky like that? Well, now that you mention it... And this did help me get my... help me get my bearings in terms of using my blade and all. Fairy Britain is like the other Lostbelts I've seen so far. Finally figured out how tough my blade needs to be. Your magecraft ain't half bad either, Castoria. I got no idea why fairies say your skills aren't worth much. I do know they're a great fit for me. My scabbard's feeling more smooth than ever with you around. Glad you're on my side. Oh, thank you. Same here. Like fairy soldiers, Muramasa doesn't just use his own magical energy to fight. He also uses external enchantments that come as natural. They were a part of his own body. Ain't nothing wrong with self-buffs. True, Muramasa's fighting skills are definitely a cut above the rest. You said he's an alter ego, correct? Does that mean he's not pure, servant? Is it okay if we tell the story, Muramasa? Sure, go ahead. Now a good time as any, master. Besides, I don't need anyone coming with me later about how I was secretly a bad guy all along, or how I could have betrayed their trust, blah blah. Alright, it's a bit of a long story, but here we go. So he's a servant mixture this foreign god made, and he's actually been fighting against you and Chaldea up until now. Basically, especially in Olympus, he pulled off something really crazy in the end. Back, Muramasa, that reminds me, you were strong enough to cut Atlas's spirit orb in half, you failed to assassinate Queen Morgan, and some other fairy handed your ass to ya. Sadly, that's kind of how power creep's gonna go. What? Alright, where's the last one where Villain was actually trying to kill us, specifically from the start? Yeah, QSH Mothman was each Lost Belt basically introduces a threat that's where the previous Lost Belt's strongest thing was nothing in comparison. Yeah. Arjuna Alt, yeah, Mothman quiz. I don't even remember his name. Mothman was nothing compared to Arjuna Alter. Arjuna Alter was nothing compared to Zeus. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it so that Zeus is nothing compared to Queen Morgan. And in Lost Belt 7, I'm pretty confident we're gonna get something where Queen Morgan is nothing compared to them. And, well, the storyline's gonna continue, so they'll just continue stacking on top of that, because that's kind of the rules of it, I suppose. Can you explain to me how that works, because I don't get it. Nothing special too, I'm just an alter ego who's optimized for killing gods. And that's only because the foreign god imbued me with divine spirits who are good at that kind of thing. Apparently, one of them was a blind god of war who is responsible for Ragnarok. You know, Twilight of the Gods. God or Damarong. The other, well, it's kind of a wish fulfillment of mine, don't ask. Point is, I'm not exceptionally strong or anything, I just don't have the have to use magical energy to kill gods, basically. So Olympus was perfect for me. In Scandinavia, well, it would have been rough, you can figure out why. Skahak, I think she was called. If this alter ego version of me had met her, I might have flown to a genuine rage. I know the blind god of war would have had words to say about her of all gods being fooled. Anyway, there you have it. I'm pretty useful when I'm up against divine spirits or worlds where divine spirits are calling the shots. So if you're strong against gods, that must mean... Now, I see I had a feeling that was the case, but you helped me clarify, Muramasa. The land of the Fae has no concept of religion, which means, yep, there are no gods here in Britain. I have no idea how this world ended up like that. It's pretty damn peculiar. whole world is ruled by fairies, but there's no trace of gods, the greatest mystics ever, anywhere. Well, that only makes sense, don't you think? I mean, it's humans who desire gods, only humans that desire them. Fairies can do whatever they want on their own. They don't need to ask any higher power for help. Of course, the society won't think up any. That is a good point. I'll have to write all this down in my next message to Chaldea. I wonder what Holmes is going to have to say about it. I don't know much about these god things either, so I can't speak of that. But you're still the Master's enemy, right? Glad you're here helping us now, but are you really comfortable working alongside an enemy? You don't have to worry about that. It's like I told you back in Gloucester. Now that you saved me, I'm gonna stick with you, Child of Prophecy. It's a lot easier for me that way. I ain't usually one to find fault with my own work, but at least this is one job I can actually get behind. So not fully on board with the Foreign God's job, then? Are you kidding me? Hell no. Damn thing's a pain in the ass. Even now, I still have no idea what the hell the Foreign God even is. She just summoned me without asking, mixed in some divine spirits with me without asking, forced a bunch of work I never asked to be part of on me. I've always been the maker of weapons, so I know my hands weren't the cleanest to begin with, but at least when I was alive, I could swear the Buddha I never chose the wrong path. Of course, now that I got some other things mixed in with me, I don't exactly have a right or wrong path anymore. So if nothing else, I'm gonna do good work at any job I take on. It's the least I could do as a Muramasa. Well, that's very you, that's for sure. Yep, at least I would be if I was still my original heroic spirit. That ain't exactly the case now, but I can still be fairly useful. I see, in that case, we'll be happy to work with you. We could use all the help we can get now, especially with our heroic spirit we're nearly acquainted with. Once again, even if it's only this Lostbelt, I'm glad we're on the same side, Muramasa. Thanks. Since I'm setting the price of the job myself, I'll help out any way I can. Anyone on a different note, I really don't want to ask this, but much as I dislike the guy, you're still a colleague, so... How did Limbo's final moments go? Ah. I guess it makes sense he'd realize, yeah, we finally managed to kill him. He went down kicking and screaming, basically. Alright, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that and just go to bed. Yeah, he's not one to lose with dignity. Is anyone awake? They're not, are they? No, they're sleeping. I'll take that as a good sign. Pretty sleepy too, but I have to stand guard. No shady-looking things, no mores. Don't worry, everyone, I'll make sure. Stay safe. Great night watchman, buddy. Got my own Castoria. Actually, rather than this, let's use a 50% charger CE. I guess that's fine. Because I wanted to check out my Castoria's NP and see how that differs. I think it's a sky color, but we'll see it shortly so that we can compare it, because I did hear that it's indeed different. From the story Castoria, I mean. Granted, mine also has 10 everything, so she's not going to half-ass the charge batteries. We're here. Welcome to my domain, the Autumn Woods of Wales. I can see where it gets its name. Worn-colored leaves everywhere. Welsh Fairy. It's Lord Oberon. Everyone come quick. Lord Oberon's returned. Please tell us about what you saw outside. Thank you for the warm welcome, everyone. As you can see, I brought guests with me today. This is the Master. He watches over things like I do. This is Da Vinci, the cutest genius you'll ever meet. This is Muramasa, who'll probably be kind enough to make all sorts of useful things. And this is Castoria, the Child of Prophecy. See, I told you that Child of Prophecy would be willing to come all this way to the isolated neck of the woods. Now, do you believe I was telling the truth? What do I do, Oberon? Hey, you don't have to do anything. They're just glad you're here. Oh, but don't try to hug them, no matter how cute they are. They're not used to being touched, especially by outside fairies. Those fairies are straight out of a picture book. Now, this is what I imagine a land of fairies would look like. Come on, fairies are fairies, right? I don't see anything special about. Please make me a helmet. I want to be a soldier. Well, I guess they're a little different. But I can't tell what they're saying, but what, a guy, you want a helmet? It fits you. Alright, anything made for humans obviously won't fit you. Oberon, mind if I set up a workbench somewhere? Be my guest. Oh, best just stick with leagues and twigs for your materials if you don't mind. They don't actually want to be soldiers, they want to play pretend. Got it, don't worry, I'm not gonna make anything real. Even making toy soldier stuff takes a lot of skill, so... What about you? Are you Oberon's friend, a true friend? That makes you a friend too. Contend they're friendly, but that's all I can tell. They're welcoming all of you here. None of the fairies who end up in these woods understand suspicion. There are no imitations of human society here, but we can at least put you up in tents. Why don't you all kick back and relax while I go see what's happening outside? I'm counting on all you to take care of guests, okay? Don't worry, these people are nice. None of them are gonna hurt you. Okay, everyone, ta-ta for now. I'll be back tonight, so be sure to save some dinner for me. I guess that makes sense why this Oberon would rather hang out here. This is more of the type of fairy creatures he'd love hanging out with. Ones that truly live in tune with nature. Hang on, Oberon, at least tell us how we can understand what they're saying. And he's gone. I mean, I could at least tell these fairies are being welcoming to us, but... Indeed, I have no idea what these Welsh fairies are saying either. I also noticed that Oberon didn't bother to introduce me. That hurts, honestly. Why? Is he just absent-minded? Oh crap, I forgot he was here too. Are you hungry? If you're Lord Oberon, you must like Lord Oberon. We must get hungry as well. We'll feed you. See, they're gonna feed us the chestnuts. That's amazing. Talk about a forbidden treat. You can almost never find sweets in the south thanks to restrictions. But here we have a loophole. Forbidden? Oh yeah. Mike said only upper-class fairies have access to confectionaries. Apparently the queen forbade processing fruits and such, so sugar's hard to come by here. Lady Aurora once gave me a bite of some kind of dark-colored bar, but honestly I prefer carrots. They have much more natural sweetness. This way, we should tell Oberon. Tell us about Oberon. Looks like the dining table's that way. I still can't tell what they're saying, but if they're gonna treat us, who are we to say no? Sounds good to me. I haven't had one in a long time. That meal was delicious. Sorry about that. What she said. For sure it was. Those are the most gorgeous grapes I've seen by far. Not only that, the fruits even have mystics. These fruits even have mystics in them. What a great way for servants to recover magical energy. Maybe I should take a few with us for the road, or send some to home as a souvenir. Eating pears in a single bite. There's still an extra plate out. Is it for Oberon? Should we leave it for him? Here, the black dog's here. Run, hide, you snooze, you lose. Weird why they run up the trees and hide in hollows all of a sudden. I see some black dogs, so they're probably trying to hide. Oh my gosh, come on, we have to get rid of them. At least we can do to pay them back this treat. I was just thinking the same thing. Black dogs are terrifying, but these poor fairies have no way of fighting back. Well, we're not gonna let anything happen to them now that we're here. Come on, everyone, let's show these dogs they're no match for a hare. Right, and you're sure you're not actually a servant? Yeah, he shouldn't be red hair, but he's acting like it. Obviously, it's be all, hey, remember red hair, but... Also means they can easily recycle his animation session. Oh, these are assassin classes. Right, that cutscene lasted so long I forgot what the preview said the classes were. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Zerks are about to deal with it. Harbinger of Death. Excellent, we took out 2 already. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Of course, it barely survives. Why wouldn't it? Well, whatever, let's just get the MP up.
望まれることをデリシャスなのだが
Around Caliburn for an extra tack up.
それはいつか来る兆しの星
Ah, yep, the sky is completely different. My story has a bright blue sky, and the story when it has, well, one more accurate fairy written. And I do believe with this, we should be able to easily wipe them out.
昼休み7時ぐり Good morning
Stagnant. Death throws guts.
古きルール破壊行きます
Actually, I already have all 3 of our Buster cards, so you know what? Let's not use our NP this turn. We'll just use the Buster Chain.
おかわりお名前をくれてやる こういうこともできる
1 left. And I know how to handle this. Yeah, there's no subtitles, unfortunately. Oh well. This is the last turn for all of our buffs, so let's try and win it here.
というわけで南の
Alright, the NP will take out 1 break, we'll take out the last guts, and then I think her basic attack cards will take out the rest.
どうデリデリデリデリバリー食べ放題目を覚ませ
Yep.
危ないぞ今回はうまくいきました
Almost a Bon 10 Castoria. That's neat. I was going to wonder out loud how I failed to notice that before, but then I remembered it's been entirely story party nodes before now, so, yeah, no wonder I didn't notice. I haven't actually had her in my party for the fixed nodes. What was that incredibly powerful enemy doing mixed in with the black dogs? Probably some fairy they bit who went mad from the excruciating pain. Are those different from the Moors? Yes, fairies become Moors when they lose their purpose and shine. That is, when their lives become meaningless. And when they are infected with meaninglessness by touching other Moors. But fairies who become so focused on their purpose they lose sight of themselves produce endless magical energy to the point they're no longer able to maintain their forms. I guess you could say their fairies gone bad. Ah, right, the city of outcasts that killed themselves. Each other, rather. What's happened to those fairies in the Nameless Woods? They were so happy to have a human they couldn't keep their desires in check anymore and killed their own friends. They did it, they won! Bordigan. Oberon's gonna be so sad, he's gonna be so happy, he has good friends now. Well, if the fairies are happy, we must have done a good thing by driving the creatures away. So it looks like we're gonna be staying here for at least a few days while we set up camp. Especially since there's no point worrying what's on the outside now they're here. Let's relax and recuperate while we wait for Oberon to get back. The Autumn Forest. We're on the opposite side from... I'm still kind of curious about this giant beehive here. I'm a little concerned. And there's no way it'd be on this map without being relevant. Likewise, anything that looks out of place... Well, we definitely have to go here eventually to deal with that storm. I'm pretty sure anything that looks unusual here is definitely something we're gonna have to visit at some point. After the dinner. You know, there's something I've been wondering about a while now. How do fairy families work? I saw plenty of siblings, but I didn't see anyone look like a parent and child. Well, of course you didn't. Fairies come into existence independently of anyone else. The only siblings we have are when multiple fairies with similar attributes decide to call each other that, or when they've decided to stick together from the time they manifest, like the 7 fairies we saw yesterday. That's just how fairies live their lives. What about children? They say Tamlin Tristan's supposed to be Morgan's daughter, right? How's that even work? Aha, Tristan Morgan's daughter? Good one. Nah, that just means she's the queen's successor. I guess in human terms, we'd say that Queen Morgan adopted Tristan. The only children in the fairy world are the next versions of you, born after you die. For example, let's say we have Spinner Fairy A here. Spinner lives 100 years and goes to sleep having fulfilled their purpose, but that doesn't mean their spinner profession or the way of the fairy's life disappears from Britain. So right after they die, Spinner Fairy B is born. Fairies refuse to call this fairies refer to this relationship as predecessor and current generation. I see. So does the current generation inherit anything from the predecessor? Things like genes, lineage, records, names, or some other kind of property a human pass on? Not really. Like I said, they're born on their own, so they don't have any connections like that. That goes for predecessors and current generation fairies as well. Powerful fairies can hold on to their records. Some memories may be better here, but in general... better here, but in general, the next generation is a completely blank slate. However, since the current generation has the same role, abilities, and appearance, do resemble their predecessors to some extent. That's how the spinner fairies know they're a spinner, no matter where or when they're born. There are also times when a fairy who resembles the current generation is born while the current generation is still alive. It's rare, but when it happens, new fairies are treated as the current generation's son or daughter. This is also why fairies use magecraft are sometimes referred to as Morgan's daughters. Here in Britain, Morgan used to be the only one that used magecraft. But now we have Tristan, who was given magecraft and named a successor, and Castoria, who was born using it. From the fairy's perspective, both are the same type of queen, hence Morgan's daughters. See, so that's why the Tamlin hates child prophecy so much, because the rumor has is that I'm Morgan's daughter. Not exactly. I'm not using magecraft that makes you Morgan's daughter. It's the fairies who use magecraft that could become a Britain's king, or at least I think so. That's the whole reason Morgan gave Tristan magecraft. It's not using magecraft that makes you Morgan's daughter. It's the fairies who use that can become fairy. It's not that using magecraft makes you her daughter. It's that fairies who use the magecraft can become... That's the whole reason Morgan gave Tristan magecraft. It's her way of saying, you will be the next king. A rather shitty decision based on what we know of her. What we know of Tristan. I expect that was her way of trying to derail the prophecy to make sure the child prophecy wouldn't take her throne. But then you and your natural magecraft show up, and now Morgan, or rather Tristan, is all, what's the real one doing here? That's probably why she went to pieces at the auction now. She couldn't handle the terror. Ah. So yeah, Tristan was basically just made the successor in order to try and spite the Child of Prophecy. Because like it was said, no one at any point doubts that the Child of Prophecy exists. Just they only doubt what kind of actual power or change they can bring. Think so? I didn't think I was scaring you that much. I do, yes. Anyways, a confrontation with Tristan's pretty much inevitable. But don't worry, just relax and take it one step at a time. The fact that you use magecraft proves you're the Child of Prophecy, and they are destined to defeat the Queen. No matter how powerful Morgan may be, or how formidable the Tamlin are, as long as you're the Child of Prophecy, you are Britain's savior. Just do what needs to be done, the prophecy will be fulfilled. We're just here to help you. As long as you're around, Britain can, and more importantly, will be saved. Even if some of us end up dropping out along the way. Well, that's obviously him referring to himself, but in what context? Or does he mean that we'll be going home before she finishes? Because that is also possible. It's no use I can't sleep. If I do, I'll just go into another one of those shitty meme events. Too much on your mind to sleep? Well, there's no need to stand. Here, have a seat. I saw you when I was heading out to gather intel. Mind if I sit next to you? Great, don't mind if I do. Say, here's an idea. Maybe you'd feel better if you told me your story so far. I'm sure you have a lot to say about everything you've seen and done before you came here. I see, so that's a journey that Chaldea has been on. Earth's future, humanity's existence, your survivor's guilt over the Lostbelts you've been to. No wonder you can't sleep, especially given what you've told me earlier. Feeling guilty about the Child of Prophecy, or maybe it's not guilt so much as alienation? Castoria is about to spill a lot of blood, but that has nothing to do with you. That's been your role up until now, and you've kept fighting even when it was hard. But you've never had a choice, did you? Responsibility for it rested all entirely on your shoulders. Not here, though. Here, you have to put it all on Castoria's shoulders. And now, you don't know what to do with these feelings. You might even be feeling like a coward, since you can't forget you have no intention of saving Fairy Britain. Yeah, you may be right. You're more concerned about finding your lost companion. If something had to mash, you can never forgive yourself, right? Surprised I can tell that. You're trying not to let it show, of course, but I can still see. But look at it this way. Let's say hypothetically Mash were to go into town and die on an accident. Would that be your fault? Is keeping her safe from all harm at all time your responsibility 24/7? Of course not. That's not concern for a friend. That's more of a savior complex. Mash is her own person, and people are responsible for their own lives and choices. True, plus, you know, Mash can actually fight. We can only just support our servants. If you really respect her as an equal, you should be trusting her, not worrying about her. Piling more responsibility on your shoulders isn't going to help anyone else. Especially if you're so weighed down that you can't act quickly when you really need to. Sorry, I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye. Just a damn bug. Because of course it would bug me when I'm streaming and not before. Still, based on what you told me of your journey so far, it sounds like your heart doesn't have anywhere else left to go. Pretty sure you used to be a lot lighter on your feet. The kind of person who lived the life you wanted, am I wrong? Well, what do you mean exactly? Well, I can tell you what I don't mean. I don't mean just doing whatever's easiest. I'd say living life how you like means finding what suits you, finding what it is you want more than anything, and fighting for it as hard as you can, come what may. That's how you were during the incineration of humanity. Not that I was there to witness it, obviously. Well, our protagonist is an open book. The point is, you and I are a lot alike. I'm guessing we both have the same role to play here in Britain. We're bystanders. As much as we hate it, you are no more a protagonist of the story than I am. Just like Oberon the Fairy King was not the protagonist in A Midsummer Night's Dream. All we can do here is watch to see how things play out. Even in battle, we can't do anything more than offer support from the rear. And I still swear, that face looks really weird placed on his portrait like that. And yeah, I know they're changing his expression, but I guess it just feels a bit off because his entire art style is completely different from the rest of the game. Well, like I said before, the whole running theme of Fairy Britain so far is things are similar and yet, in some ways, off. In fact, the closer you look, the more not quite right everything seems. I must say that is very, very accurate. I like it. But that doesn't mean you need to beat yourself up. At some point before all this ends, there will come a moment you have a crucial role to play. At a time when no one else is around, you have a chance to change how everything unfolds. Sounds great, doesn't it? So for now, I suggest you swallow that worry, get some rest, and look forward to what's yet to come. So what if you're just a bystander? Even spectators have their pride, after all. Hey, sometimes even background characters can do major things. I mean, look at Green Biker Dude from Mega Man X. Or the My Cabbages guy from, Last Airbender, Legend of Aang. So bide your time, wait for your moment, do something spectacular at the very end that not even the gods can see coming. Just imagine how good it's gonna feel when you finally wipe that smug smirk off the smug face of fate itself. I don't know what it even means, but thanks. For cheering me up. What's so strange about it? That's how I've lived my whole life. Master, there aren't many people out here who can explain everything about themselves. It's not like we're predictable tools that come with instruction manuals. We're living, analog creatures, fuzzy around the edges. That said, everyone has at least one thing they like about themselves, right? It's kind of embarrassing to say this out loud, but at least in this example, you don't think I'm a coward, and of course you aren't either. I don't think you're a coward, and of course I don't either. At least in this example, I don't think I'm a coward, and of course you aren't either. Oh, sorry about that, Blanca. I didn't realize I've been talking for so long. Let's look for the intel in Manchester tonight. It's about time we started investigating up north. Alright, better get going then. I'll see you tomorrow night. I don't want to be the only one left out of dinner fun, after all. Oh, wait. What is it you want, specifically, Oberon? To defeat Morgan, of course. I might not be much of a fighter myself, but that is why I was summoned here. Well, we've had plenty of support servants join us. I mean, even Castoria is definitely a lot more powerful for her art support. Seriously, Seriously, I've actually used my Jason in plenty of lotto events already thanks to her. She makes anything with an arts card and a pulse loop. It's awesome. You're not talking about for humanity's sake or anything like that? Oh, now I see. Well, damn, that is kind of embarrassing, but I guess I can't dodge a question after that big speech I just gave. Well, I'm looking forward to Tanya. Remember, Oberon's queen from Midsummer Night's Dream? Titania the Fairy Queen, the only one who ever loved the obstinate Oberon. I'm hoping to see her, if I can. Of course, I know that's impossible. Titania is a fictional character. She doesn't exist in proper human history. She can only ever exist within the confines of story. Hard to fault someone seeking love. That is, after all, something that can be easily empathized with. Yeah, I'd best use a Zerk for this. I could use a Knight class, but with whatever's going on with that rider, I'd rather not deal with it. I'm gonna try my new invention. Show me what you got. Hold my elegant run. Might be a bit risky to do it this way, but I think I can do it. I really want this one, but I can't do it. Stella, I actually might want last. Here we go. 3 MPs in a row. While these all play out, I'm going to go ahead and... Alright, while these play out, I'm going to go ahead and grab a sip of my drink. My throat's dry again.
あれはいつか見た終わりの星。どれほど遠く汚れても、私は星を探すのです。さあ、幕を開けて、アラウンドカリバーン。
Alrighty.
ご承覧あれってな。
Oh yeah.
聞かぬ。
I'm not in bad shape. Guess I might as well get as many stars as I can. I really can't wait for quick cards to be buffed. Just 10 crit cards isn't very much. Oops. Alright, I have my second Castoria. Just barely not enough. It's okay if Scotty gets defeated, but... Alright, let's hope I can deal enough damage to drop him.
Good morning.
There are perks to the Berserker mindset. Excellent. Ow, 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 ow. Ah, this was supposed to be a light practice bout, Muramasa. Why are you taking it so seriously? Are you a child or something? No, I'm an old man. It's my job to make sure you youngsters get a proper education at the School of Hard Knocks. That doesn't go for the master, though. He seems more like he's had his fair share of hardship already. Gotta admit, though, those quick combat summons of yours are really something. Makes me think I'd better off keeping you safe instead of mixing up myself. Play your cards right, I might even be able to beat the Tamlin. Huh, you really think so? Hey, you bet. If you throw all the servants and magic guns you got, you can definitely take them. You said one of them trounced you? The next time it'll be your turn. Just make sure you got a good victory line locked in. I ain't afraid of no Tamlin. Your weapons are made out of iron, right? Can you let me have some of the material? Sorry, but I'm the only one that can work that. It's basically an advance I'm paying for with magical energy. If you want to use some for yourself, I'd have to make you something from scratch. And that means we'd have to get some iron from a mine. I think it was Norwich that controls the iron supply around here. Let's see, then I'll just have to track some down somewhere. And after I came with the grand plan to defeat Gawain, too. Ooh, am I seeing a mean streak in those eyes, girly? You got something devious, I'm game to help. Oh, no thank you. Just laughing it up. Master, leave me alone. And just keep laughing up with the master and leave me alone, old-timer. Looks like someone's going through a rebellious phase. Maybe she's just like that. I think she's actually just really competitive. I am not. I'm just being the child of prophecy. There's no getting around that. I might as well start taking it seriously. Start taking it seriously? Come on, you've always taken it seriously. No one here ever thought otherwise. Oh, I see. You're worried about what Oberon said about you having to confront the Tamlin eventually. I mean, that's definitely part of it, yes, but I just figured I can't stay on the fence forever. The whole idea of making a pilgrimage around Britain and ringing bells doesn't feel quite real to me. But the fairies we've met so far, including the ones in Gloucester, all have such high hopes for me. And of course, my whole village of Tintagel believed in me enough to raise me and send me out on this pilgrimage in the first place. I'm still worried I might not be able to live up to everyone's expectations, but I thought for the time being I could at least try being proud of the fact I'm the child prophecy. Not like they said, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? I mean, I don't have any specific ventures in mind, but you know, girlie, for the life of me, I can't tell if you're full of spirit or a shrinking violet. I can't keep wavering forever either. Oh, master? Well, I've made up my mind, Castoria. I'm gonna help you no matter what Chaldea has to say. Oh, what about Mash? I thought we were only traveling together till we found Mash. Of course I'm gonna look for Mash. I'm not stopping till I find her. I just also want to help the Child of Prophecy on top of that. Good point. We haven't made our position very clear, have we? Finding Mash is definitely top priority, but that doesn't mean we can just leave Britain to fend for itself, so we want to keep traveling with you. Not just to find Mash, but also help Britain here, too. Now that we've made friends here, we want to do everything we can to go back to our home with no regrets. Does that about sum it up? Sure does. I just hope Director Gordolf's okay with it. Sounds good to me. I'm sure Gordy would give in eventually if he was here too. So it's not just Muramasa anymore? You're saying you and Da Vinci are going to join me on my pilgrimage? Yep, and I'm sure Oberon will say the same thing. Don't worry, we expect to be generously compensated once we've all saved the day. So how's that sound, future king? Of course, if you'd rather not have us, we can always go our separate ways. No, not at all. This is great. I never dreamed I'd ever have this kind of help. I guess this is the Child of Prophecy's first proper alliance. I'm starting to feel like a king. I'm glad she's so happy about this. Of course, none of this changes the fact we still don't have any kind of plan. I mean, it's great you're feeling motivated about being the Child of Prophecy and all, but what exactly do we do about it? Way to bring me crashing down to reality. Can I be happy for at least a little while, Marmasa? That's your entire problem right there. I like how exaggerated her expressions can be. Well, as the resident old man here, I have to kind of be our party pooper, right? I hold the whole thing and I think I have an idea. It's Oberon. It's a little earlier than I planned, but the time is clearly right. I'll tell you where the Child of Prophecy and you, or companions, need to go next. The crossroads of destiny where the Child of Prophecy's rumors shall become reality. That's right, it's time for us to save Norwich. I can't hear him, but I can hear him, but I can't see him. Is that really you, Oberon? What do you mean you can't see me? Oh, right, of course. Down here. Oh, phew. Flying long distance sure takes a lot out of you, but there's no substitute for seeing things for yourself. Oh, right, you guys haven't seen me like this before, have you? I want to give him a hug. He looks so warm in that outfit. I'm the stylish speedster racing on Britain on a Sphinx moth at Mach speed. That's right, I'm Ryder Oberon, sometimes known as Robin Goodfellow, the pint-sized fairy king. How'd you get so small? Fairies can size change all the time. That's why some are depicted as human size and others as tiny. Changing size is just another ability they have. Heavy footsteps echo across the northern plains. The Queen's army is on the move. A military flag depicting the Black Flames and a mighty fortress flaps the forefront of the army marching on Sheffield. Tamlin Gawain leads the army. Oh no! I'm pretty sure Gawain is enough to handle that all by herself. Her objective is not to snuff out the sparks of rebellion, nor negotiate with Bogart. Pharaoh Gut, who was named the Queen's proxy only yesterday, flashes a wicked grin. This all occurred one day before Sheffield is wiped off the map. Yeah, I should have known. They have nothing they can handle Gawain. Unfortunately, only the protagonist has the ability to defeat Gawain, and we are not there, so... What you going to rest, Lord Bogart? If there's something on your mind, I'll be happy to listen. You can't even pour me a glass of wine? You're really a pure excuse for a wife, aren't you? Ah, that's alright. I can't appreciate alcohol anyway. In fact, I don't understand why humans cook their food at all. Cutting, slicing, frying, roasting, seasoning, it all seems like a waste of good time and good meat to me. The Fang clan doesn't need to act more human, and it certainly doesn't need restaurants. And you know that Oxford is practically bursting with restaurants these days. Everywhere you go, there's a wood roses on every corner. What a sick joke it is. Can you even imagine if all the shops of Sheffield's main street were nothing but restaurants? It would be so absurd, no one would even know how to react. That is true, it would be a funny sight. Yes. If nothing else, they're good for a laugh. It would be fun to show you... Well, never mind, I don't know why I said that. So, Child of Prophecy, you've been defeating Moors on behalf of the townspeople. I also know you've been seen fighting while wearing that armor, even if I told you not to draw attention. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just not fit. Of course you aren't, you fool, you never were. And yet, even though you're capable of battling Moors, you're afraid to wield a weapon. You never came back for that iron cylinder. Those merchants told me they found you in the cylinder together, and yet you've never even mentioned it. It's almost as though you'd prefer to forget about it entirely. That cylinder rivals Morgan's sacred lance. Why would you run from such incredible power? I don't know, it's something about that thing feels like it could hurt everyone. Like it could even hurt all of Britain, and that scares me. No, you're not afraid of that cylinder, then. You're afraid of fighting it. Never mind. Even if I did know your true feelings, I doubt I would be able to understand them. All that matters is that the records are accomplishments. Have you still not gained memories? I don't know if it's your calling, but I have no doubt you're a knight. One's been fighting a long time. And yet I've never seen you in the Queen's army before, nor ever heard of any new Tam Lin being appointed. In fact, I've never seen a fairy that looks like you anywhere. Where did you come from? Are you actually the Child of Prophecy who will save Britain? If you are, you'll be forced to fight wherever you go, for the Child of Prophecy's pilgrimage is a road of blood and war. Do you truly have what it takes? Could you not only defeat the Queen, but unify the 6 clans and maintain rule over them? Of course you can. You simply aren't made for that, even if you were to regain your memories. Fairies are meant to live their lives how they like in accordance with their purpose. Why would you force yourself to go through something you don't desire? No, it is as I thought. No, not thought. Knew. You aren't the Child of Prophecy. You're more than an imitation, a lost lamb. I've been fighting for a long time. I've been fighting the Moors since I was born. Fighting has always fallen to the Fang clan. It only makes sense. We're the strongest clan in all of Britain. And Woodrose and I were the strongest of all of them. The two of us could have alone have saved Britain from the Moors countless times. It was those accomplishments that led to Woodrose and I being Lord of Oxford and I Norwich. Yes, I remember. You told me before you were once Lord of Norwich, but you never told me how you ended up in Sheffield. A man named Capless put one over on me. He's taken the name Spriggan now. But never mind that scumbag. That's nothing you need to hear about. You know about the Caterpillar War of 200 years ago, yes? It was the only war that made the Queen scream like a flesh and blood woman. I never would have guessed that accursed Morgan would be so afraid of insects. Anyways, during that war, Morgan gave the name Gawain and made her a knight. No one can perceive their name anymore. The Queen changed it so that Gawain became her true name. The only other person we know of who has legitimately changed a true name is Merlin. So that says a lot right there. Now, no one can call her by original Fae name until she is defeated. Woodrose hated and claimed she was the daughter of detestable black dogs, but I always admired her sheer strength. In fact, I'm part of the reason she became a Tan Lin. One day, I told her, if you don't want to be called a dog, you need only stop fighting with tooth and claw. Heir of the precious blood, from here on out, you will fight with the greatest of swords, your horn. Ever since, she began carrying a sword with her wherever she went, till one day her prowess as a knight caught the queen's eye. She then became a Tamlin and began shielding fairies from the moors of her own volition. I suspect that was because she had been long ostracized as a daughter of the Black Dogs. That allowed her to understand how the weak feel, and made her demand responsibility from the strong. I believe the queen calls that noblesse oblige. Oh, noblesse oblige. Seems there's no limit to the reach of human civilization's influence. Indeed, since that is another human-made term. You know, you remind me of, back when she had just been born. Back then, she agonized over having been born strong, and hated that she would now have to continuously exploit the weak. There's something about you that reminds me of her disgraceful cry. I see, so you still care deeply for this Gawain person. Hardly. I stopped thinking about her 200 years ago when she became a Tamlin. What am I saying? Why am I sitting here telling about my youth instead of my daring exploits? This is a waste of time. Forget this tonight happened. Erase it from your memory. I'm going back to the tribunal. Alright, take care, little Blogar, and please take care not to stay up too late. That reminds me, why aren't you afraid of me? I think it's because Sheffield's such a beautiful city. And I'm told you're the one who restored it from almost nothing. Even though it's a fortress city, it puts the livelihood of the fairies who live in it first, making it a bright and comfortable place to live. I don't think I could ever be afraid of anyone who's built a city like that. Well, of course, Sheffield's much more beautiful than Norwich ever was. That ends today. We'll be closing our gates as of tomorrow. Once the fight with Morgan's army begins, no one in the city can call the city beauty any longer. What was that, Lord Bogart? That's the alarm bell from the sentry tower, but why now? They can't possibly be here already. What's going on? What's the situation? Don't tell me the Queen's army crossed the mountains atop Audvenna in only 2 days. They have, sir. The Queen's army is steadily drawing closer to the main gate. We also receive a message. Would you like to read it? No, you read it. Just summarize it. What does Morgan say? Well, what are you waiting for? Tell me. It says, hand over the child of prophecy, and I will grant Sheffield its freedom. Does she mean MASH? But why? What about Norwich? Does it say anything about giving Norwich back? No, what does she mean? Does it mean she doesn't care if Lord Bogart continues to grow his army? Ah! Is that what you think, Morgan? You think our rebellion poses no threat to you? How much more must you humiliate the Fang clan before you'll be satisfied? Excuse me, sir, I have an urgent message. The sentry confirmed Gawain's flag is at the head of the army. Tamlin Gawain is leading the advance. Oh, is she now? Very tricky, queen. She talks big, but she shows she sees us as a threat by standing who she did. The very fact she sent her right-hand woman to deal with us is proof she does fear our army. She knows she can't possibly take down Sheffield, while Knockanary is sending troops up north. So she chose to negotiate rather than try and put us down, which means the army is only here for show. No wonder she got here so quickly. They can't possibly be armed for battle. What will it be? Will she give Norwich back to us or send enough troops to dispel the Calamity Pool? I look forward to seeing which answer you choose, O Queen of Britain. Lord, it isn't just Gawain's. Tristan and Lancelot's are spotted as well. All 3 of the Tamlin are headed this way. The most powerful forces in Fairy Britain are bearing down on us as we speak. What? All 3 of them? Oh dear, without the protagonist there's nothing they can do. All troops are in position, Lady Gawain. What would you have us do? Remain on standby until the messenger we sent returns. Tell Tristan's forces to do the same. What is Lancelot doing? Lady Lancelot standing by in the air. She says she will drop into the castle once the fighting begins. The Queen's orders were to cleanse Sheffield thoroughly, in addition to Bogart's army. Everyone in the castle, military or otherwise, will be considered targets for Lady Lancelot. Fine, we don't need them lined up anyway. Tell Lancelot to drop on the Black Gate when the time comes. If they try to let the Child of Prophecy escape, that's where they'll do it. Bogart, if you open his gates now, this can all end without bloodshed. Don't make me use my horn on you. Look at your forces and look at ours. You're a rational fairy. You must truly see that resistance would be futile. Incoming message, my lady. Message we sent. Return with Bogart's reply. It says there is no Child of Prophecy in my castle. All you'll find here is contempt for the Queen. This castle and I are one. If I shall return to the earth, its purpose will also come to the earth. That is all he wrote. That fool. Squads 1 and 2 ready your siege gear. Sheffield's ramparts will be difficult to break through. We may even They may even be more formidable than my foul weather. Be prepared for casualties as high as 20%. Yes, my lady, we already accept any fate in the name of the Queen. Damn you, Bogart, your reach exceeds our grasp. Did you really think Her Majesty would give Sheffield special treatment simply because it keeps Knockanarea in check? You were a fool to underestimate us. We don't need to ambush them to keep Camelot safe from her. No truly capable leader in a position would have made a grievous error in judgment. Your time is over, fool. All that remains now is for me to put you out of your misery. Assemble the troops. Prepare to hold the castle. Send word to the Knockanarea. Tell her we can hold on to run for 2 days and send backup before then. At his command, Sheffield begins its true battle. Many high-ranking fairies said no one told them all 3 would be there. They should just give up. But Bogart put an end to their descent. It wasn't clear whether he did it because he didn't want the Child of Prophecy to protect him or because he wanted to save her as a last resort. Whatever his reasons were, his decision was correct. If they had given up the Child of Prophecy, every fairy would have been cruelly slaughtered that much sooner. Pour from the Sentry Tower. The enemy siege weapons are burning the ramparts. They've already burned through 1 layer of tree bark. The Earth Clan fairies are using oak trees to reinforce the wall, but at this rate they won't last the night. They need immediate backup. The soldiers stationed across the ramparts have their hands fending off invaders scaling the walls. We outnumber them now, but they're better trained than we are. It's only a matter of time until they outnumber us. So far, the fighting's yet to reach the town thanks to the valiant efforts, but... What was all that? Did Gawain just break it all on her own? Lancelot's attacking. She's destroying the barracks. It's no use. She's too fast for even the Wind Clan to track. There's no way we can shoot her down. Get her down to the ground, even if you have to destroy one of the barracks. Lancelot's like a bee. All speed and no power. As long as we can ground her, I can easily... Now, what is it? Did they just fire a cannon at us? No, sir. It's Gawain. She's using her Galatine on the main gate. She's already burned through the gate. It's barked down the 10th layer. We'll never be able to regrow it if she keeps hammering on it. Damn that girl. What about the castle grounds? The soldiers in formation? No, sir. The citizens are panicked. They keep getting in the way. Some of the fairy even starting to riot, demanding we let them out of the rear gate. Whatever you do, do not open the rear gate. If even one fairy makes out, the whole thing will collapse. Never mind the throne room. Get out there and suppress the riots. Yes, sir. Let's go, you lot. There's too much chaos both in the ramparts and the castle. We can't fight everywhere at once. Please, tell us what we should do. You're the one who said we could fight for the Queen's army. Are we going to... I know, damn it. We need to put out one of those fires. Yes, well, we got a Magecraft cannon on our own. See what kind of power the prophecy truly has. Enraged, Bogart ran to the iron cylinder mounted on the castle as fast as his legs could carry him. He didn't think that alone would actually change the battle's course. At best, it might provide an opportunity to turn the tide. Little did he know, the faithful pull the trigger would begin Sheffield's end, and attack would transform the battle from a siege into pure annihilation. This isn't good. That's the Black Barrel, the thing that killed Zeus. This is a fixed formation, so it's a match solo fight since the player's not, Ritsuka's not here. The shaft of light that all but exploded from the castle changed everything. 600 royal soldiers who'd been laying down the siege vanished. The Sheffield soldiers who'd been fighting valiantly died on the spot, blood gushing from their bodies. The fairies, merely near the beam's path, breathed their last peacefully as though they'd only fallen asleep. The ramparts, which hadn't so much as budged when they struck by Gawain's Galatine, were now completely melted. Even the Tamlin had been standing before the main gate could no longer be seen amidst the haze of white smoke. Lady Gawain, she's... For a moment, terror gripped the battlefield. If that killed Gawain, then we at least have one of the toughest things taken care of. Both the Queen's army, who had suddenly lost their will to fight, and the soldiers of Sheffield, who had normally welcomed the turn of the tide, reeled at the nightmare that had sprung around them. Amidst the white smoke, only a single figure was still standing, though his breathing was shallow and ragged. Lord Bogart. Ah, that was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Behold my soldiers. If this isn't fortune smiling on us, I don't know what does. We can still win. Not even the Tamlin can touch me while I have this. This will obliterate anything stands in my way, and not just Morgan. I can be rid of that fool Woodwoes. Knock an area from the north and the Calamity Pool threatening Norwich. This is incredible, magnificent. Though it was right in front for him to see, Bogart remained blind to the truth. He failed to realize how odd it was the dead Queen soldier had vanished. He'd failed to know his own soldier's painful death on the ramparts. Failed to see the fairies who collapsed near the castle, the soldiers next to it fallen like withered trees. Child of prophecy falls to her knees in despair, aghast at the horrors that her sins had brought about. It wasn't just she had inadvertently harmed the townspeople she cared for. Was the fact that she brought it here? Well, that was part of it. Was it her inability to stop Bogart? Well, that was part of it too. More than anything, she felt her greatest sin was her own weakness. Her failure to consider the effect she had on those around her, or the reason she was here in the first place, using the loss of her memory as an excuse. Now who's next? Where's that accursed Lancelot flying about? Here, Child Prophecy, you can will this more accurately, yes. You see that blue bee buzzing there? I want you to shoot it down along with the Queen's army. He turned oblivious to what was happening to him. There he saw. Why? Why must I harm this beautiful world? Forget about him, Mash. Come on, we have to get out of here. What about Bogart? We can't leave him alone. Don't you worry about me. You really are weak and useless, aren't you? I've no need for a queen who whips over war. Go on, take her wherever you like. There, you see, he made his choice. He'd rather stay here and kill enemies. What can you do? What can you do? What do you want to do? What can you do? I have to help the townspeople escape. I think it's a little late for that, much as I hate to say so. Okay, I'd rather just make a break for myself. That's what you want, I'm game. Come on, let's hurry. See you, Bogart. Don't worry about my tab. I'll be taking your bride as my payment. Bogart, please be careful. How are you still alive? Lady Galway, you're alright. I can't believe it. Can't believe what? Oh, you mean that light round. That was just a beam of pure hot magical energy. The only thing it posed was a bit of iron poison. It was crude and used without heart. It can't even compare to a single strike from High Queen Morgan. Now, what are you all doing? You call yourselves the cream of Camelot's crop? Hurry up and resume your advance. That fool just destroyed his own town's greatest defense. Now's our chance to seize the castle. Pay no heed to the ones fleeing. All you need to concern yourself is the castle. Unfortunately, he just ruined his strongest line of defense, and he just blew a hole in it. The Queen's army poured in, and the soldiers tried to fight back. Some of the townspeople in their homes holding up in their hands surrender when the soldiers broke in. Others saw the front gate was lost and scrambled to make their way to the real one. I'm pretty sure it's too late for all of them. Tamlin Gawain remained steadfast at the front gate, glaring at the castle keep a mile away. To Bogart, who had become utterly enthralled by the cylinder's sheer destructive power, she may as well have painted a target on herself. You think you can match this power, girl, or think you could distract me? Cursed Knight of Morgan, let's see how tall you can stand to fire another shot straight at you. Distracted by the gate, she failed to realize the weapon's poison was eating away at him. The only thing on his mind was his animosity for Gawain and admiration for Blank's magnificent leadership. That little girl has become quite the fine knight, he thought, as his lips curled a smile. At a moment he recalled the other girl's tears a moment ago. For the first time in all of his life, Bogart found himself on the battlefield wondering one simple thing. Why? Why was the girl crying? Why had she been so upset? What reason could she possibly have for such sadness? Try as he might, he could not understand. What am I saying? This is war. I have a weapon that can defeat my enemy. Weapons exist to be used. What more is there to consider? Sheffield belongs to me. I'll never let you bastards have as much single citizen. Even as he grew more dimly aware of this true anger laid not with the Tamlin, but his own cowardice, he placed an increasingly numb finger on the trigger and prepared to fire his last shot. If it at least kills Gawain, that's something, but they're probably going to take it back to Morgan, and that's bad, because that means she now has Rongo Bongo and the Black Barrel, and that's too much. Looks like the castle's still safe. Can we evacuate the townspeople here? We could, but then there'd be nowhere for them to run. They'd end up either captured or killed. If we want to save everyone, we'll need to open the rear gate and secure an escape route. Sure, it basically hands Sheffield to the enemy, but that's gonna happen sooner or later anyway. Townspeople may not have a lot of good options available. Whether die of the Queen's army, head north to become Nakanara's slaves, or get lost in the Knight's domain, that should be their choice. Come on, let's head to the rear gate. Just make sure you run for it if you see a Tamlin. They're here for you, after all. I will. Let's go, Habitrot. Please open the gate. The Queen soldiers are right on our heels. If they catch us, they're gonna tax us. I don't have that stronger left to live. There's no way I'll survive another taxation. Hold on, we can't open the gate. Sorry, that won't help anything. Won't be long now before Lord Bogart sends the Queen Armor's packing. Return to your homes and ways victory. Those without homes head to the castle. The guards can't stay here any longer, too. We have to hurry. We don't have time for this. Can't go back to our homes. All the fire raining down to burn us alive. The Queen's soldiers are already occupying the castle. Our only choice is to run for it. Nakanara's army is practically next door. I'm sure they'll help. After all, they're the King clan. Now get out of our way, useless cretins. Olgar can't save us. He's a disappointment of the Fang clan. He's failed. No business challenging the Queen of all people. Oh, you bastards. Man, things are a boiling point here, too. First, the Queen soldiers now have to worry about possible riot. It's not like yelling at the guards is going to do anyone any good. I get why they're doing it, though. This way's blocked, too. Bogart covers bases. How about the sewer? Can we make it out from there? No dice, Rob. There's a wall blocking our way, too. I know they're probably just trying to seal off ways the enemy could sneak in, but this is overkill. Crap, we really don't have a way out. What about the rear gate? Of course, I've been keeping an eye on the guards like you told me to. There's levers hidden behind the third pillar. All we gotta do is raise and lower them. Two of us should manage it. Oh, be careful not to stay on the stake of the lever's foothold. That's a safety mechanism that'll make the whole thing stop working once it's broken. Wow, it's great. I'm impressed. You've really grown. Really? You mean it? Then does that mean I can make my own just like Winky? Eventually, sure, but don't worry about that until I get captured. Alright, let's sneak in and get that gate open. Sheffield fairies have treated us to a lot of good booze. This is the best we can repay. Oh crap, the Queen's army, they're already here. Forget the gate, stay out of sight and keep an eye on things. We're too late, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Why can't we open? Wouldn't that help? Don't be dumb, don't play it safe. What's the most important thing in the world? Your life, right? Take good care of it. After all, what's the point of having something valuable if you don't save it when it really counts? You're right, we can't sell ourselves short. Okay, I'll stay here in the sewer. Look, over there. Someone sent the Queen soldiers flying. It's Anise. Anise is here to save us. I told you she's called MASH now. Anyway, change of plans. Let's sneak in the guardhouse while she got him attention. Alright, let's go. Our child of prophecy. The Queen's army bore down the packed ferries, crowding the rear gate. The guards advanced, but could not make it, pressed of so many bodies. Soon the Queen's soldiers would be upon the ferries trying to escape. Once the first blood was shed, there'd be no going back. They were too frightened to think straight, so the Queen's soldiers regarded them as violent dissidents. Soon the rear gate would become a bloodbath from which no one would escape alive, unless, of course, she had something to say about it. She had something to say about it. Ha 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 ha. Lady Mash, what are you doing here? I came to help you. Can we open the rear gate, Loot? I'm not authorized to make that call, but the Lord's Lady wishes to pass through. I guess we have no choice. Thank you. Not all, I was this close to doing... I would have regretted forever. Some guard I turned out to be. Someone help me open the gate and hurry. Don't let the Queen's army in the guard houses. Don't let them touch the safety mechanism either. If you see anyone suspicious there, kill them. I've located the ferry. It appears to be a child prophecy. Moving in for a kill. You four with me. The rest of you dispose of these. Don't let a single seed of distant escape. Oh no, you don't. You're facing me and me alone. If it's bloodshed you want, bloodshed you'll get. I'm Tanlin Galahad, the Knight of Sheffield. I'm your enemy. I'll stop you right here, right now. The fairy knight Galahad. The only one even greater than Lancelot. Round shining shield. There's 4 of them. Crap, this is gonna be annoying.
それはすべての傷、すべての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロード・キャメロット。
Oh, she's level 100. So yeah, she's actually a lot more powerful than expected. Oh wow, that's some really good defenses. I see no reason to stop. I need to at least kill one. The less damage going out, the better.
私は最悪の席に立つ。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロードキャメロット。多すぎてもそれ
Damn it, they're always survive with less than 1,000 HP left. Sheesh.
にゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃーにゃー。押し切ります。急げや急げ、明日が納期だ。ブライダルスピーファイ
Oh yeah, it's a lot of NP gain. Ashaborknee.
ー。倒れません。神明会長。了解。はい。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。
Very night gown.
権限せよ、ロードキャメロット。やー、倒します。
Zero damage. Absolutely none of them have a damaging NP, so I am not worried whatsoever.
了解。はい。いいよ。ターゲット。はっ。そこ。
None of us have a damage NP, so I'm absolutely not worried about this. 神明会長。はい、了解。押し切ります。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロードキャメロット。ターゲット。はっ。倒します。いい感じ。多すぎても。それ。ステータス、これで耐えます。いい感じ。いいよ。いい感じ。その辺だな。これ使う。特艦仕事。ここはもうちょっと念入りに。倒れません。神明。にゃーにゃ。神明。落ち着いて。了解。押し切ります。それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロードキャメロット。ターゲット。
倒します。
Support only. There's been a lot of these, that's for sure. I guess that helps make the story feel a lot more, well, special. I guess it makes sense. They're already having a lot of four-story supports in Olympus and such, so it makes sense they'd push it this way. It's open. The child prophecy opened the gate for us. Once the other Queen soldiers the outside, it's our chance to escape. Alright, looks like our work here's done. Come on, Mash, let's run for it too. Don't worry about the city. Bogart can handle it. Whatever else you can say about him, he's still a great knight. He knew this might happen when he made a rebellion. You don't have to share that responsibility. This is his last stand, no one else's. Escape is not an option. Your only options are surrender, accept capture, or die here and now. Well, Lancelot's it's Fairy Knight Lancelot. We're gonna die. Of course, the little girl. Well, what is this? A fairy Tamlin for real? So that is the Child of Prophecy. Fine, this is annoying, but moving in to capture her. First, what is that you called yourself? Galahad. That is quite the name you threw out. Oh, crap, here she comes. Get ready, Mash. Don't hold back against her. By the way, did you call yourself Galahad? Who even is Galahad? Is this a boyfriend you never told me about? Oh, damn it. I don't know who Galahad is either. It just came out. Anyway, everyone please try to escape. I'll do my best to hold her off. Well, if there's Lancelot, Galahad's the only one who could do anything. Increase MP charge match. Max each turn, increase MP strength. I don't remember if she has the single target or AoE NP in this form, so... Alright, Lord Camelot's gonna be needed here. Pretty sure Saber Hakosai or Saber Karna could handle this, although Hakosai might be easier just because of Kisura. That pierces... Oh no, it doesn't pierce Invold. The fact she did all that damage despite having layers of defense says an awful lot as to how powerful it is. I'm gonna have no choice but to spam my NP here and hope for the best. Of course you'd target the one that wasn't there. Why wouldn't you? Don't know how helpful this is gonna be, but I'm gonna have to charge everyone's MP. Alright, let's get a heal going, I guess.
一撃一瞬で終わらせる石灰剣開始つなげる
Okay, if the debuff landed, that means she survived.
ファイアングルクラ
We're only barely hanging on, however.
来るがいい
Ooh, we're not gonna get it back in time.
新命はい落ち着い
All I can do is put up as much defense as I can and hope for the
たそ
best.
れは全ての傷全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷権限せよロードキャメロットターゲットやー倒します一撃一瞬で
You
終
know,
わ
for
らせ
being
る
Fairy Knight Lancelot, she has Mordred's gimmick from Camelot. Yep, the debuff didn't land. That means she's dead.
やべやる切り裂け
I don't know how I can survive this. Ah, damn it. Just one more turn, I could have potentially survived it with that, but that is not the world in which we live.
了解押し切りますターゲット
I have a very significant damage boost in the story, that at least, but
一撃一瞬で終わ
I'm
らせる
gonna have to redo this fight, aren't I? Damn it.
いいね両断する
Oh, it's okay, yeah. Guess I should have figured a scripted loss is not impossible. But I think this is actually the first time that's ever happened. I don't recall any other time where that was the case. Every other time it was basically just a survive battle. It's no use, nothing's working, my strength is fading. See, and here I thought your shield might be something special. The Round Table's protection is useless against me. My mystics are just too powerful for it. That explosion came from the castle keep, Lord Bogart. Oh crap, she totally wants to save him, doesn't she? I'm glad she doesn't look as defeated as she did a second ago, come on. Second wind, you are tougher than you look. I see why you chose Galahad for your name, at least. But it's no use, this ends now, you are not going anywhere. We don't need two children of prophecy. I guess it was too soon to call yourself a Tamlin or assume Galahad's name. Who did that? Sorry about that, but that girl there's an acquaintance of mine. I didn't want to get involved. But I'd also rather she not die on me. Please stand down, Lancelot. Do that and we can call. Just go home, no fuss to us. Are you the wolf who's been watching over me this entire time? Good news, so much for my mysterious shit. Trying to make him vaguely give a vaguely stereotypical Irish accent, but I don't think it's working. Your instincts noted, powers of observation are just as keen as ever. Anyway, I'll handle Lancelot here, don't you worry, I can at least buy you enough time to escape. Thank you, robed person, who is totally not Castor Coup. What the hell, I thought you were going around outside, why head back to the castle, hey! Knew it, but what can you do, that's MASH. Hey, Grimir, that's you, right? Sorry to run since we haven't seen each other in forever, but thanks. No problem, definitely not gonna survive this, but oh well. Don't mind facing me instead, it might cost me my life, but I can at least send you flying out of the castle. Grimir, I see you're Grimir the Sage, the savior Fey Era's familiar. Now you're a servant and summoned to the era of the High Queen, and yet you still have not learned. Her Majesty, she said I should dispose of you, so I will. I don't suppose you have any last words. I should have been taking way too much longer to get through them all. Besides, we're both outsiders to Fey Britain anyway, so let's have some fun and not worry about the rest. Ah, so Tamlin Lancelot is not from Fey Britain. Well, I suppose those goblinoid characters from earlier did hint us to something of that. Something like that, so I guess it makes sense. There must be a handful of fairies who came from the main timeline, one way or another. Wow, so you even deflected that one. I guess your skin really is tougher than Gawain's. But unfortunately for you, I don't care how tough your skin is, I only care for what's under it. I want to touch your muscles once they're all exposed, gushing blood. I want to make a belt from your guts. Well, go on, big guy, scream. Scream for your insides being twisted around. You'll be like an old doll nobody wants to buy. Oh. Hey, watch him, lady. You almost got blood on me. I'm about to see an old friend here, you know? I gotta look my best. Oh, please. You were practically drenched in blood a little while ago. Anyway, check this out, Beryl. Look how miserable Bogart looks. First a little charm to project his soul, this likeness, and look, I can move him however I like. A voodoo doll, huh? We bend the arms, bend the legs. Haha, this is the ugliest marionette I've ever seen. That spell you taught me is hilarious. Ooh, that's called fetish. It's a bit beyond me, but since you're a fairy, it's obviously no problem for you. If anything, it looks like a perfect fit for you. Even I didn't think you were gonna take it this much. What a silly name. I'm gonna make this my noble phantasm. Whoever I use it on will be my plaything before I even know what's coming. They'll be mine to do with as I please before they even know what's going on. Oh, this is awesome. I love it. Face left, face right. Put your hands together in prayer. I can't think of a more pathetic way to die. Damn you, Tristan. I'll never fall to. Just shut up already. How the hell are you even still alive? Your heart's been torn to pieces. Whoa there, lady. Don't finish him off just yet. Just keep it cool for now. I still need my life for one last thing. At least a little longer. Speak of the devil. Guess your wifey loves you, huh? I'm kind of jealous. Bogart, are you okay? Why? Now, Mash, can't you slow down? Oh, what the hell? Why is he still bloody and floating in the air? Did the girl sitting on the throne did this to him? Hold on, Bogart, I'll get you down. Whoa there, not so fast. If you want Bogart to live, you better not move a muscle. You should come here to save him. How about we start a nice peaceful discussion? After all, you're never big on fighting, right, Mash? You know who I am, but I don't know you. I'm afraid I have you memories right now? Oh, yeah, I heard. What's your name again? Milky Mikey. Well, whatever, as you told me all about it. Man, you've been through a lot. I can only imagine how hard it was for you. But don't you worry, my name's Beryl Guts, and I'm here to rescue you from your hardships in a strange land. Don't be fooled by my pretty face. Behind it's a mind full of information about your past. Now come on, let's go back to New Darling to have some fun, just like we used to. Don't trust him, Mash. He's bad news. Lancelot was a bad matchup for us because she was just too strong, but he's just bad. No matter how strong or weak he might be, he reeks of blood down to his soul. I feel the same way. Even if I did know him, I can still tell I shouldn't trust anything he says. Ouch, that hurts, Smash. Whatever happened to you? First you lose your memories, then you lose your way. Oh, I see, you might have gotten mixed up with the wrong kind of fairies. Hey, I don't blame you. If I've been palling around with a bunch of broke-ass bandits, I probably have trouble trusting people too. But hey, don't worry, I'm still the same. What happened to the fairy that told you about me? Tell me, where's Winky right now? Oh, I can't tell you that. I mean, I don't know for certain where fairies go when they die, right? Yeah, I think that alone proves... yeah, the fact that she knew to ask that question before answering told her way more than Beryl ever could. Who said you could move? Oh, she tore it! She's pissed! No way! Huh, that hurts. I've been hurt at throwing people against a wall, but I've never had a wall thrown against me. Yikes, guess I better do something for you. Literally turn me into mincemeat. The truth is, Mash, neither me nor that Tamlin there can beat you now. Not when you're a Tamlin named Galahad, the greatest knight the Round Table has ever produced. So I'm afraid we have no choice but to play dirty. Do it. Got it, like this, right? See your beloved Lord Bogart's dangling outside the castle walls. All I have to do is release the thread. It'll hit the ground head first. Normally, a drop like this wouldn't phase him, but since he's hanging on by a thread in more ways than one, I think it'll be enough to finish him off. How much longer are you going to keep making moves on my man? Thanks, Lady Spinel. I swear, did you know... How did you know exactly what I had in mind? You're a genius. Of course I knew, Beryl. This is us we're talking about. And I just know what's going to happen next, too. What do you want? It doesn't seem like you're here to capture the Child Prophecy. Me, that is. Well, technically, we did come here to kill the Child Prophecy, but whether we do or not kind of depends. See, we're actually in more dire straits here than we might seem. Even together, me and Lady Spinel are no match for you, and you'll never forgive us for tormenting Bogart here. If he dies, it's obvious we're the next ones to bite it. If you went nuts, there's not much we can do about it. I suppose you're right. I don't think I could stop myself either. Which is why I propose a little wager. I'll let you in on a secret. I'm Morgan's master. Oh right, you don't know what a master is now, do you? Basically, I'm Morgan's husband. If you kill me, both Morgan and Army will lose at least half their strength. So any Child of Prophecy would never pass up the chance. And like I said earlier, not even the two of us combined could stop you now. While I hate to say this after I went through all the trouble with the show together, it'd be all for nothing if we actually fought. Or at least that would be the case if we didn't have a little insurance policy here. So you want me to let you two go in exchange for Bogart's life? You want me to choose between killing you and saving him? Oh no, I don't think we need to bother with that. The thread keeping Bogart in the air snapped. Ryoga was right, he did know the girl well. He knew that with a thread gone, she wouldn't hesitate to dive. See, even with her memories gone, she's still the same old Mash. As far as I'm concerned, it won't matter if she never gets over amnesia. His laughter could be heard through the ruins of the castle after he finished snickering at the girl's desperate rescue attempt. Now we just have to bring this black barrel thing back. Hey, lady, what happened to the giant 3-meter-long candle just here? Don't tell me it fell too. Seriously? Sorry, so absorbed in you, I didn't see what happened to it. Oh well, guess I can't blame you for that. Besides, no biggie. Alright, Lady Spinel, I think we've had enough fun for one night. What do you say we head back home? Sure, what about Mash Girl? I thought you really wanted her. Alright, 3 things happened. Either Mash somehow grabbed it, it did indeed fall, or the one person everyone forgot was here, Habitrot, managed to get it. Either way, I'm glad that Morgan never got her hands on that thing, because the last thing she needs is something on par with Ringo Miniad, so that she has 2 of them. Well, sure, but remember how Morgan said to leave her alone? Besides, no one but Lancelot could take her right now anyways. I'm gonna have to think of another way to make her mine. I see, she's stronger than I am. Little brat, I was so excited to tear her apart. Is it okay if I get to kill the fairies here? I need to blow off some steam. Oh, don't worry, we just have to change our approach. Remember what I told you, if you can't hurt the outside, rot the inside. If Mash wants to rescue people, we'll let her do just that. That way, it's just a matter of time until she feels her conscience weighing down on her. The more she goes off passing herself as the child of prophecy, the more despondent she'll end up. That's just how things seem to work here in the land of the Fae. I see plans to destroy the people's faith in her, and her faith in herself. Let me grab a sip of my drink before I continue. Alright. In the span of a few seconds, it took the 2 figures in the castle keep to drop the courtyard. The girl made a desperate dash down, cradled Bogart and Worms, and tried to absorb the brace of the impact herself. Though she knew it was the only thing she could do to keep him alive, she hadn't accounted for his weight being added to her fall, and she couldn't help but experience a short but bout of dizziness. Okay, what about you? Are you alright? More or less. Besides, this is my second time falling from that height. Oh, right. Though panting and out of breath, his flippant remarks were as cutting as ever. The girl gave a sigh of relief, but the relief proved short-lived. Bogart's body was cold as stone, his breathing faint and shallow. I need to get a medic, but I'm afraid the cave on the castle. Alright, I know the medics are all gone. I can hear the sounds of swords clashing, flames spreading, my soldiers' death, battle cries, and death throes. So the enemy has made it in the castle. Yes, they have. By the time I got back, it was already too late. Why did you? Never mind. Just take me to the rear gate. I trust I can do that. Came all this way for me. Oh, but Habitrot still isn't... I'm right here. Sheesh, I can't believe you just jumped out of the castle like that. Still, it turned out to be the fastest way to escape, so I suppose it all worked out. Oh, thank goodness. I should have known you'd be light on your feet, Tabby Cat. You know it, plus my spinning wheel here actually can fly a bit. Trust me, it's a lot more versatile than it looks. Don't call me that, it makes me too happy. Right. Okay, I'm gonna take Bogart to the rear gate. Will you cover me? She nodded, of course. The girl tried to lift Bogart's great bulk, only to realize the magical energy had surging through her moments ago had vanished. Between her battle with Lancelot and the fall she had long since reached her limit. Fool, Tamlin or not, you're still half human. Stop, Bogart, you mustn't. You're in no condition to carry me. Please, I can walk on my own. Don't be ridiculous. You don't have the strength to escape my grip. Come on, the rear gate is this way. Hurry. Bogart picked up the girl roughly and staggered forward as quickly as his bloody body could move, which was, of course, not very quick at all. But he kept on, slowly but surely, like a groom carrying his bride across the battlefield. Oh man, I think it's even worse now. There are more fairies packed in front of the gate than ever. There's no way we can get close without the Queen's soldiers spotting us. Until that point, Habitrot had been able to keep them away from the Queen's soldiers. But that luck was not to last. If they were to approach the gate now, all eyes would be on Bogart and the Child of Prophecy. You're right, it's fortunate the gate is already open, but at this rate... No. We can still get out through the gate. If we stay here, it'll only be a matter of time until they find us anyway. Thanks to you two, I've got a good deal of my strength back. I can run now. Some of my citizens still can't make up their minds about whether they should stay or go after help escape. Keep your head down, while we're outside of Child of Prophecy. I don't want you drawing attention to yourself now. Okay, if you say so. Alright, let us go. What are you fools doing? The castle's fallen. The battle of the main street is over. The Queen's soldiers are headed this way. Escape to the rear gate and get to the twisted hole in Thistle Hill. I trust you know what I mean by that, my fellow Sheffielders. Lord Borgart, you're alive. But this is a one-way road. That's where the night call. That's where I'm going. If you have any other prospects, you're free to take them. But don't stay here. You hear that? Gawain's Black Dogs, the main force of the Queen Army, are headed this way. At Bogart's command, the fairies began scrambling near the rear gate. As he carried the girl, Bogart himself continued to walk the gate calmly, setting an example for the nearby fairies panicking. I'm impressed, Bogart, but how's getting them aside gonna help? Look behind us, the Queen Army really is hot on our heels. They'll catch up unless someone closes the... Ah. Gate's closing, I'm impressed. Was it set up to do that automatically pass through it? Yes, I suppose, by some curious stroke of luck it was. Hearing Bogart speak through clenched teeth, the girl sensed something was amiss. She lifted her head and looked back at the now closed-off gate. Wait, please. Goodbye. Thank you for rescuing me that day. Thank you for giving me a name. Still cradled in Bogart's arms, the girl gathered her strength to wave back at the two fairies. The bright smile caressed her. Yeah. I can't believe it. Bogart's alive and Mash is here with him. Then she must have made it back. I can't believe she pulled it off. But with the gate still open... Oh crap, even at this distance, she's looking pale. Lancelot must have gotten her. That must be why Bogart's carrying her. But hey, at least now we can get away. What a relief. Come on, Rob, let's go after this. Our chance to get Mash again. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Hey, maybe we could make Bogart part of the gang. He'd make the perfect bodyguard. That way, Mash job would get a little easier. I bet Winky would be too happy. But before we get to that, there's something else we gotta do first. What do you mean? It's important? Yep, real important. We're the only ones who can. I can't do it alone. No, it's something we have to do. Are you okay, Rob? Whatever it is, you can tell me. You're my big brother. Whatever you want to do, I'm game. Thanks, Wag. Alright, let's close the gate. Don't worry, I still remember what you told me before. All we have to do is lower the levers to close the gate, then destroy the mechanisms so they can't be open again. That'll trap the Queen's soldiers inside for a good while. But Rob, that would mean we... I gotcha. Leave it to me. We can at least say goodbye, right? We wouldn't Mash to worry about us. No, we wouldn't. Since the Queen's soldiers are going to break the guardhouses anyway, we might as well run up to the gate. And they're okay. Made contact with Bogart. He's sharper than he looks. I'm sure he'll figure out what's going on. What are you fools doing? His resonant voice rang throughout this town square. While it did snap the fairies out of their panic, it lured the Queen armies to the location. Alright, let's do this. No, I think this is the most excited I've been since we got to Fairy Brit. You said it, Rob. We might have been in all sorts of trouble before, and life wasn't always easy, but now I'm glad we came. So the two brothers closed the gate. It goes without saying the Queen's soldiers were none too pleased. Once they found them, the pair became a target of the army's frustration. They saw Bogart shrinking in the distance. In his arms, the girl looks back at them. Look, Rob, Mash sees us. Hey, I'm glad you're okay. I wish I was smart enough to say this better, but thanks for saving our lives. Thanks for everything. Rob looked with sadness and pride as a brother happily waved the girl. Sound the boots echoed. Soon the brother's journey would be over. You know, putting your life on the line to protect what's most important to you is kinda nice. But screw cares about the Queen's soldiers. I'm gonna wave at her too. Bye, Ash. Take care. Worry about us. You pay us back and then some long ago. Thanks for saving us, prophecy or no prophecy. The weirdest knight I've ever met, but I wouldn't have it any other way. This is the best trip I ever had. I'll never forget it. Later, some of the Queen's knights went out to look for the escapees, but Bogart and the others were nowhere to be seen. So the Battle of Sheffield came to an end, with the voice of two fairies raving right up to their final moments. The fairies who escaped from Sheffield evacuated to a cave north of the city. The twisted hole of Thistle Hill, a dread cave known to be home to a single night call. Bogart said he once raided the cave to serve as a shelter in the event of emergency. He said he defeated the night call himself and was now perfectly safe. Naturally, it contained stores of food for humans, fairies, favorite kind of oak trees. He done his duty as the Lord of Sheffield, but now... Please drink this, it's Thistle Morning Dew. It should at least keep you from being parched. Bogart had gone still, his body cold and light drained from his eyes. His strength hadn't really returned. His march was safe to be in one final act of defiance. Child of Prophecy, are you there? Yes, Lord Bogart, I'm right here. Lord, huh? Well, that makes sense. There are other fairies here after all. This cave leads to Eastern Novena, Britain's leyline caverns. They can take you to any of the other cities without needing to set foot above the ground. You can use them to make your escape. Guards, now they've shaken the Queen's pursuers, you would remain here for the time being. But if you do not ask Knock-an-Area for protection. She may be magnanimous to those who join, but she's ruthless to any who try and leave. She's a little better than Morgan. If you must seek help, go south to find the round table. Lord Bogart, please, you need to rest. Don't worry, my fellow guards and I will keep Sheffield safe. The people of Sheffield, huh? I built Sheffield out of anger from being banished from Norwich 100 years ago. I never realized till now, but I cared more about it than I realized. Being Lord of his domain's people gave me a fiery sense of purpose. Yes, I hated Morgan, Woodwose, and Spriggan, too. I wanted to rule Fairy Britain and get revenge on all of them. The truth is, I wanted to protect Norwich as well. I wanted to save my people and live up to their expectations of me. Above all else, I wanted to go back home, back to that city of sticky ocean wind and antsy crafts fairies. How strange. I always thought I hated the city's restless atmosphere. You understand these odd feelings, Child of Prophecy? Yes, I do. You've described a hometown. Your hometown. Right from the start, you were rallying soldiers to save Norwich, Lord Bogart. Guess I've been more transparent than I thought. Tell me, you who hates war, what happened to that iron cylinder? She shook her head from side to side, unsure if you could even see her. See, it seems I unwittingly gave you an excuse to escape. I don't regret anything I did as Lord of Sheffield, but mash right to the end I wanted. So he quietly breathed his last. Even as the fairies grieved the loss of their lord, they were troubled with worry about what tomorrow may bring. But just when the mood in the cave couldn't get any more despondent, the lone girl raised her head with a strong sense of purpose. Lord Mash, where are you going with her shield? Hey, she's not Bogart's wife anymore, so what are you gonna do, Mash? I'm going to Norwich. Norwich? By yourself? Yes, and not because I may be the Child of Prophecy. I'm going because Norwich needs help. Right now I want to save it more than anything, and it feels like what I have to do. We shall come with you. It's our job to keep the Child of Prophecy safe. Don't be daft. You guys' job is to protect the townspeople, right? I know how you feel, but you can't just abandon your post. Not unless you want Bogart haunting you from the afterlife. Well, yeah, true, but we can't send her out alone. She won't go alone. I'm going with her. Plus, we have a guide right here. Looks like you managed to escape somehow. Mr. Wolf, I knew you'd stay with me. The wolf turned without much as a sound and began walking away, deep into the dark caverns that led to Labyrinth known as Odvina. You mean we're leaving right now? Somebody's impatient? Well, I guess time isn't exactly on our side. If we're gonna take the Odvina, it'll take us over a week to get to Norwich. And since there's no telling when this calamity pool might make a move, we don't have any time to rest. You're right. Odvina's a dangerous place. We'd only slow Lady Mash down if we went along. Good luck, and thank you for bringing Bogart back to us. Not at all. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I'm off to Norwich as a Knight of Sheffield. And so the girl's journey truly began. While there are other dangers for her to overcome in Advona, those stories will have to wait for another time. The other Child of Prophecy would make her way to Labyrinth, befriending new fairies along the way. Yeah. And to arrive in a faithful city of Norwich. What'll happen there? Guess we'll have to see in the main story. This is the main story. Phew. Well, up the ruins of Sheffield. And I am exhausted. Looks like Delver TV is going, so I'll go ahead and raid them. But that's going to be all from me tonight, so be sure... oh, raid him. So yeah, be sure to give all the love to Delver TV. And until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.